Wrestling fans, are you ready? For the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, let's get ready to rumble!
And now, please welcome at this time your hosts, Grant GSM Matthews and RJ Marceau. You're listening to the next era of wrestling radio. This is WrestleRant Radio.
Happy holidays, folks. Welcome back to WrestleRant Radio here today for December 26, 2025, the final WrestleRant Radio of 2025. We're going out with a bang here today, reviewing, revealing, analyzing the results of the 13th Annual WWE AEW Year in Review Awards over at WrestleRant.com. Thanks to those that voted. We'll get to those a little bit later on. We're going to be going through all of that here today, talking some other things as well. Mr. Marceau, brother, what's going on? How was your Christmas?
Everything's good. Yeah, no, Christmas was good. Very low key at the Marceau compound, but it was nice. And got a couple of Stranger Things episodes in last night. Didn't finish, so no spoils in the chat, please. But got a couple episodes in and looking to finish that tonight. So I'll be ready for New Year's Eve or whenever the next one comes out. I'll be all geared up.
Yeah, Mr. Marceau is a better man than I. I have not seen any of the new batch of Stranger Things yet. I haven't had a chance. I'm going to try to watch it later. So I saw Nathaniel say in the chat earlier, oh, I enjoyed Stranger Things. No spoils, please. I haven't seen anything Mr. Marceau has seen, far more than I have. Obviously, by the next time that we speak, next Friday, obviously we're live here, rare on a Friday with Christmas falling on a Thursday this week, so I appreciate Mr. Marceau joining me, everyone joining us here today and watching after the fact and bearing with us. But by the time that we speak next week for the first show of 2025, if we do it next Friday possibly, Stranger Things will have been in the can, done, aired, everything. We will analyze the entire season, the entire show. The finale's dropping on New Year's Eve, like RJ said. So I'm looking forward to that. And hopefully by that point, the tears have been shed and we can analyze whatever happened on Stranger Things Season 5. WWE actually is doing a collaboration with Stranger Things for their first episode of 2026. That first Raw with Punk and Breaker for the world title, the women's tag titles on the line with Rhea and Io versus Kabuki Warriors and more. I don't know if the kids of the Stranger Things show are going to be there. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but I know that show from Barclays, they're doing some sort of collab with Stranger Things for that show, which is cool. I did not plan this. Mr. Marceau, I feel like you may have gotten the same shirt that I did for Christmas because we're wearing very similar colors here. Did you get the same shirt, All I Want for Christmas is Boom, by any chance, with the Costco guys?
I didn't get that toilet paper. I didn't get delivered to my house.
I think you just got the wrong address. I'll send it to your new address and make sure you get it for next year. So make sure we match because it looked like you were wearing the same color. So I thought my brother got that for me. It was one of the best gifts I got all day. So
It's terrible.
they were actually at the Hammerstein last week for the AEW TV taping that I was at. They were on the Ring of Honor portion, but I popped big. I could have worn this shirt if I knew they were going to be. Well, I didn't have this shirt at that point, but still, all I need for Christmas is Boom. But we were talking earlier about Home Alone 2 and 3. I watched parts of both yesterday. I had Home Alone 2 in the background, 3. Didn't watch the whole thing. Can't offer an accurate opinion on it here today. Maybe next Christmas. But I forgot to ask you before we hit record here. What was your thoughts on your annual rewatch of Christmas classic Christmas with the Cranks the other day when we were texting?
We watched it on Tuesday night. It's just so ridiculous. Like you said, it's so ridiculously bad that it's like kind of good, but it's just like you've seen it once a year and you're just like, I think every time I watch it, I get the more the fact of like, this movie's really bad.
Yep.
I just like don't understand why them not celebrating Christmas is like the biggest ordeal to everyone. Also, I understand that Tim Allen, like they want to save money, so they're going to go on this cruise. But then they go from like, oh, we celebrate Christmas a tons of like not celebrate, like he like do like letters. So why can't they like still buy the Christmas like they did like the police calendar and like the Boy Scouts. Like, okay, you're chipping in a couple $100 maybe, but you're still saving overall like a decent amount of money. But they're like, nope,
Nothing.
we're not doing shit.
Nope.
And then it's like the neighbors giving them. I hate the neighbor with the bad haircut. He's annoying as fuck.
Oh, the guy from Ghostbusters?
I don't know what he's from. The guy, he's like the neighbor that like not I don't know. I can't think of what his name is. The one that plays the accordion when they come to the house.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd. Yeah, the Frohmeyer.
Yeah, he's terrible. He's terrible.
Yeah.
And then like I can't stand the old man. Like, what's going on, old man? Like, shut up. He's annoying. The daughter coming home. It's a whole ordeal. It's probably one of the worst movies ever. But it's just hilariously bad.
I mean, we could do an entire show on this, and honestly, for a future episode of the show, we might have to do a fucking watch along. I watch it at least once a year. Every December 23rd, I text you. We watch that movie. So when you texted me on Tuesday night saying I'm currently watching the worst Christmas movie of all time, I fucking died because I'm like, he's either watching Christmas with the Cranks, and I know you don't like it, but you haven't called it the worst Christmas movie, Christmas Vacation. So I'm thinking he's watching one of the two. It's got to be Christmas with the Cranks. So that's what I thought. But when you texted me that, we were watching it we were ending it, and I think you had just started it. Yep. Oh my God, that movie is so fucking bad. It's one of my favorite Christmas movies. It's so bad. It makes no sense. But I love, like, again, we could do a whole watch along with this maybe in the future, next year or something. But in the early part of the movie, everything that like happens is resolved 10 seconds later. So she's like, you know, we can at least donate to the church, right? It's only $600. He goes, nothing. We're not giving a fucking dime. Nothing. We're not donating anything to the church. Literally the next scene, they're sitting in bed. He goes, okay, fine. We'll donate to the church. And then what was the point of even including that? You know what I mean? Like stuff like that where he gets arrested for stealing the Christmas tree with Spike. And they're like, who's Spike? It's like everyone knows each other. How do you not know who Spike is? The fucking little neighborhood kid or whatever. And then Spike,
2 seconds later, he shows up.
Then he shows up. He goes, no, yeah, I can vouch for him. And then he's out of the cop car. So then what was the point of this? I guess it was just to pad the 90-minute runtime or something. I don't know. The movie is 90 minutes-ish long. 45 minutes into the movie, they go from saying, we're celebrating Christmas. Blair's leaving, though, so we're not going to celebrate Christmas. We're not doing anything. We're going to go away. By the 45-minute mark, halfway through the movie, they then find out, oh, she's actually coming home. We got to prepare for Christmas. This is so incredibly rushed. It is so badly rushed. And the wife gives up on it immediately. Jamie Lee Curtis is like, oh, yeah, you were a genius a second ago, but now you're an idiot. And then blah, 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 blah. I fucking love how terrible that movie is. It makes absolutely no sense. That is why I love watching it every single December. So definitely give it a watch next Christmas season for those that have not seen it. You'll regret it that you did and that you wasted 90 minutes of your time, but you might be grateful that you have now officially seen one of the worst Christmas movies of all time that make no sense. They just put anything in theaters in like the 2000s. That and Deck the Halls. I don't know if you've seen that with Matthew Broderick. That was like an 2006 terrible similar movie. I'm not going to say that about this movie though. Bad Santa. I enjoyed that. That was actually a very good movie. Kid was funny. Billy Bob Thornton was really funny as Santa. The drunk mall Santa, he was great. So
I love when he's eating his lunch break and the lady comes up like, oh, Sandy's like, I'm in my fucking lunch break, and like lettuce is falling out of his mouth.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I'm gonna go speak to management. He goes, fine, I dare you. Make my life even worse. I challenge you to go do that, or whatever he said. Oh God, yeah, that was good. I will take your word for it and not watch the sequel. I saw the thumbnail, and it's got the same kid, I think, but grown up. His same friend, the elf guy, I think, is in it as well. No, obviously not Bernie Mac, because he died. John Ritter works at the mall, also died, so rest in peace to both of them. But yeah, no, good flick. I'm glad I got that recommendation from Mr. Marceau. Thanks to those joining us here today as we run down the results of the 2025 Year in Review Awards. We'll get to that in just a moment. Want to shout out our channel members: Alexis, Miss Mom Matthews, Dillon, DiGiacomo, Mrs. Renee, DJ Swerve1 at Swerve1 on IG, Mr. Marceau himself at RJ_Marceau on X, John Ritland, Real Honesty with John Ritland right here on YouTube, Richie as well here on YouTube, Red Planet Wrestling, as well as Average Grunt on Blue Sky, gruntwrestling.bluesky.social. We got new episodes usually every single Thursday, but this week and maybe next week as well, definitely not on New Year's Day, of WrestleRant Radio every single Thursday, and WrestleRant.com, WrestleRantRadio.com, all major podcast platforms. And be sure to like the video if you're watching currently live or after the fact. Subscribe, turn on notifications as well. All that stuff is greatly appreciated. So I want to run down these chats real quick before we get going here with those that have joined us in the last several minutes. I saw Nathaniel join us earlier. Do I think Cope and Christian return after FTR's match tomorrow night? I could see it. I think Cope should be done filming by now, so I think that's a pretty distinct possibility for Worlds. That's also coming up tomorrow. I'm not talking and doing predictions here today. We're going to focus on the rewards. But that's also coming up tomorrow. It looks like it's a good show. Fernando joining us as well. Talking about Christmas. We said it was good. He also asked, Mr. Marceau, would you like to see out? Would you like to see out? Or what would you like to see? I'm sorry. What would you like to see out of Io Sky for 2026? He asks.
Well, I mean, a tag team title run, which seemingly seems like is going to happen. Money in the Bank would be fun. But, I mean, it's not necessarily. But, I mean, just having good matches, being on Raw. I think, like you said, the tag team with Rio will be good. Eventually, they'll split up. Obviously, they probably have more matches. But, yeah, I would say tag title run and maybe Money in the Bank. But besides that, nothing else I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I mean, she overall had a great 2025, so it's going to be hard to top the year that she had this year, but I think she should have an equally successful 2026, regardless of what that entails specifically. Asking what we got each other for Christmas, Alexis and I. She got me this really nice CM Punk sweatshirt. I don't have it with me at the moment. It's over on the side. She asked for a bunch of, like, Wyatt Six stuff. I got her that, and the new Hunger Games book. She wanted that among some other stuff, so nothing super major. What kind of booking do you guys see? Well, I guess same question for LA Knight. What do you guys see for LA Knight in 2026? The 6 feet underground because he's currently buried. That's what I'm seeing for him in 2026. But what about you, Mr. Marceau?
I mean, Royal Rumble win, world title win at WrestleMania, huge big reign, probably the most overstar in 2026. So that's what I expect.
Listen, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. We will revisit that conversation when I ranted all about LA Knight. He's not winning the Rumble. You said there's a chance. I mean, I agree. There is a chance. I'm not saying there's no chance. I just am not optimistic enough. I value and envy your optimism to think that LA Knight has more of a chance than he probably realistically does of winning the Rumble. But we'll revisit this in a month when the Royal Rumble comes and he gets thrown out in 5 minutes.
He's not even in it, but yeah.
Yeah, he's not even in it. And it's Royal Rumble 2014 all over again with Daniel Bryan not being in it when people wanted to see him win. Mr. Marceau, question for Mr. Marceau. What's your favorite holiday-themed matches? Any favorite holiday-themed matches? Miracle and 34th Street Fight?
I mean, I guess it's the glorified no DQ.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just go with that because I couldn't even think of another one.
Well, we were at NXT last year or during Christmas time. He actually asked us, have we ever been to wrestling shows during the holidays? I try to go every year if there's a show that makes sense. Like I was at Dynamite last week, but even you and I, we were at NXT last year in Lowell, which was great. We went to our first pay-per-view together. You had been other pay-per-views, as have I, but like together we went to TLC in 2015. Well, I guess SummerSlam. We didn't sit together, but TLC was in December 2015. We went to SmackDown 2 years ago during the holidays. The
wedding and Raw was at the end of 20. Whenever we went, that was like right the last Raw of the year.
Yes, it was 2019. That was also during the holidays, right before New Year's Eve. So that is.
I've been to like one of like the Christmas holiday tour shows. They had like a WWE Live.
Oh yeah, in Boston you went a few years ago, right? Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, and always a good time. They had a Christmas Chaos match at that NXT show last year with Hank and Tank winning. Remember how awful that was?
I don't know who they faced.
There three. Was it Dion Lennox and Ashanti the Adonis? No, they had their own match.
They had their own match. I don't know who they faced. Maybe it was they faced Luca Crucifino and Stax.
Oh, yep. There was at least two other teams.
Yeah, I can't think of the other two teams. Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you, and I don't remember. I just remember Hank and Tank won, and we were like, listen, we could not walk out of that building fast enough. But it was a fun show, though, during the holidays. What was the most drunk we have ever been for New Year's? Well, I get plastered every year, so I mean that's nothing new for me. On White Claws, of course. But for Mr. Marceau, have you ever been super, super, super drunk on New Year's to your knowledge?
There definitely has been times. I can't think of one.
Mm-hmm.
I think honestly, the night before Thanksgiving, I could probably give you better stories of. I feel like New Year's, you're kind of like, you're always normally driving and you're like, I don't know, you can't really, unless it's at your house, I guess, but I'm never like normally at my house. So usually I'm not going too crazy.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you said night, I would say for me, night before Thanksgiving, I've had some more drunk escapades than a New Year's Eve.
I feel like there's a stigma around New Year's Eve, but it's not actually New Year's Eve that people get the most drunk. I feel like
no,
you said,
it's Blackout Wednesday, obviously. Come on, right before Thanksgiving.
That's so funny. Me. Meanwhile, at Dave and Buster is trying to get the half off deals or some shit, which is fucking funny as shit. I got to meet up with you on the day before Thanksgiving one of these years. Just
I toned it down. Once I hit 25, the Blackout Wednesdays went away.
Well, you just turned 25 last month, so I mean, that was your last one.
Yeah, no, once you're 21, 22, 23, Blackout Wednesday gets out of hand.
The allure is gone after 25 or so, but
yeah, because then it's like it's more of a local thing, and then you start seeing like younger kids, and you're like, I'm too old to be here, and then
yeah. That makes sense. A lot of drunken escapades, though. I love that. Love that description. Eric, what's going on? We enjoyed our Christmas. Thanks for asking. Let's see. Matching brothers. Oh, yeah, we are matching. Except I have my Boom shirt on. I sent Mr. Marceau his. Hopefully, he pulls it out of the trash and does not use it as toilet paper. Fernando asking, RJ, which is more rewatchable? This is a great question. Which is more rewatchable? Cena versus Cody at WrestleMania this year, or Christmas with the Cranks?
Christmas with the Cranks. I watch it every year. I'll probably never watch Cody versus Cena again, so it would have to be that one, right?
I completely agree. I think the biggest difference is Christmas with the Cranks is so bad that it's almost good. I would say it's actually good. It's so bad that it's good. Cena versus Cody, it was just so bad that it's bad. There's no defending that. That finish was terrible. Let's see. Will we see Britt Baker back in the ring for either WWE, AEW, or TNA next year? Yeah, I mean, probably. She didn't wrestle a single match in 2025. Not that many people, I think, really noticed, to be honest with you. But still, I would think we'll see her back in one of those companies. Do you think she'll wrestle next year, Mr. Marceau? And if so, for which company?
She'll wrestle for someone. It's a great question. I want to say TNA. I don't know. I just don't see WWE having a lot of interest in her, so I'm going to go say TNA.
Maybe she goes to TNA to kind of rebuild her stock because she hasn't really been overly relevant in quite some time. So maybe she goes there, and I think she's gone from AEW this coming year, because she hasn't wrestled a single match all year, unless there's some sort of health issue going on, which is very possible, and we just haven't heard about it. I think she's probably just on her way out. A lot like Private Party, haven't wrestled all year. They're probably on their way out, among others as well in AEW. Daniel Malcolm, what's going on, brother? Thanks for joining as always. Muhammad, I see you there. Thanks for joining. Daniel said, the older I get, the longer it takes to bounce back from drinking, which is as much of a deterrent as anything these days. LOL. Would you agree with that, Mr. Marceau? The older that you get, the longer it takes you to bounce back?
Dude, easily. Once you hit like 25, 26, it's all downhill from there. I just think it's like when I feel like when you're younger, you're also drinking more often.
Sure.
So like you're younger too. So I feel like you're easier to get back from it. But once you start hitting, like I said, I'm over 30 now. So, I mean, you got to mix a few Wawas in. You really got to look after, because the hangovers and the feel like you just like don't sleep well. And I guess maybe that's because I don't drink all the time. But I mean, it's a total different game. It's crazy.
Hey, listen, it's like being in the wrestling business. The older that you get, the longer it takes you to bounce back from the bumps and whatnot. So, makes total sense. Muhammad saying, I really hope Chris Jericho can work out his dates with AEW. I think he's definitely gone. I think if he was staying, he probably would have re-signed by now or resurfaced on television. It's been fucking 8 months. I think the learning tree just got cut down. Enter Royal Rumble in January 2026. I think that's when we hear break the walls down again. Eric asking, I think he's talking about Anna Jay. He said Anna. Do we think she re-signs with AEW? I think so. I think it'd be nice to see her in NXT. I think she's got potential. I mean, she's had potential for 5 years now. She really hasn't gotten above a certain level in AEW. I think if she stays in AEW, she'd probably just be in the tag team division with Ty Conti, which is fine. But I think she got a lot better in the last few years. So I think she re-signs. I would like to see her in WWE, specifically NXT. What about you, Mr. Marceau? Do you think Anna Jay stays in AEW, or does she leave?
Let me see. She's 27 years old. Like you said, I think she's got a lot of potential. I guess it really depends on what she wants to do. I feel like a lot of people, I feel like they're comfortable. I think why not try NXT? I feel like you said, she's been getting better over the years, but I feel like if she went to NXT, maybe learned a little bit more, she'd get to another level.
Yeah.
I think she's got the look, and I think she's pretty good in the ring, but I think a little bit more, and I think she could be mid to top tier. I don't think she's going to set the world on fire, but like I said, I think she stays in AEW. It's tag team and kind of lower mid card.
Yeah.
I think if the opportunity comes, why not try? But who knows?
Yeah, it depends what that schedule in WWE looks like. I think if she goes to NXT, if she's at the PC, I'm not saying she's getting this world-renowned experience, but because she was in Japan about a year ago, she got better there. But if she's in AEW and she's not really wrestling all that often, I don't know what her schedule looks like. She's only going to get so good, like you said. I feel like she can become a more well-rounded performer in NXT or WWE or just elsewhere in general. But I think she probably does stay put. Eric said, why not Judas? I think Jericho could come out to Judas at the Rumble or in WWE. I don't see it happening. We talked about this a little while ago. It's not the same thing like with Cody when Cody brought his music over, the downstate music from AEW and all the other companies he worked when he was away from WWE. Break the Walls Down is just one of the most classic WWE theme songs of all time. And I think, not that people wouldn't react to Judas, because they obviously would. Maybe they
Can't
could
do like a little mix?
Maybe. Well, simultaneously, or you're saying he uses one?
So like maybe when he comes out, they do like the kind of whole
the countdown and then Judas?
Break the Walls Down.
Yeah.
And then they can either do Break the Walls Down and then go right into Judas.
Yeah, listen, I would be totally fine with that personally. I was thinking maybe he uses one for a little while, and then if he does a character shift, he uses Judas later. But I think if he wants to come back to WWE, legitimately, I feel like he might try to negotiate using that song like Cody did, because I feel like that's important to him. It's his own music. He can fucking promote it in WWE, sell a lot of Spotify listens or whatever the fuck. So, yeah, no, I like the idea of
What's he
mixing the
selling?
two. What'd you say?
What's he selling?
Spotify listens?
You like a lot of Spotify?
I don't know what they don't sell albums anymore. It's not, it's 2020.
True. Not selling albums anymore, pal.
No, it's not 2003 anymore, unfortunately. Eric asking what Santa brought us for Christmas, and any good gifts, Mr. Marceau, that you got this year?
I'm old now, so I don't really get. I don't know if I'd say I don't get good gifts, but
stuff you need, really.
I get necessary gifts.
Yeah.
I got a couple new long sleeve shirts, got some money, gift cards.
Yep.
I went out and bought myself socks. I really needed socks. Yeah, nothing crazy. Molly complains I'm a really hard person to buy for, because I usually, I'm old enough now. If I really want something, I'm gonna go buy it anyways.
Yeah,
so definitely a tough buy for, but I try my best to hold a few things back. But yeah, nothing crazy. I got a candle warmer. I'm trying to get away from the lit flame. Now that we got a new place, so we got the candle warmer. So instead of burning it, the light melts the candle. I don't know, but no. Yeah, I'm old now, so nothing crazy. I wish I could say something more entertaining, but
something
necessities at this point.
That's really what it comes down to. I'm just like, hey, listen, if you're gonna get me anything, if you get me anything that you think I like, awesome. I use every gift I get. I wear every gift I get, whatever it is. But if you can get me something that I could use, I say that to Alexis, I just need I just need a new planner, okay? Just give me some, and where I put all my receipts.
Seriously, I got mine out right there.
There you go. That's where all the notes are. Where Ricochet said,
all quotes from the Cena interviews, all right there.
Yeah, no, the Cena quote interviews where Ricochet also said that AEW is a family-friendly product. But what I did not tell you, I took notes when I went to AEW last week. No shit, I'm not making this up. During the Roderick Strong Mascara Dorada match, there were chants for back shots. And there were also chants because Roderick Strong has the backbreaker. They were chanting, they were chanting, blow his back out. So, nice family-friendly show. I almost actually brought my sister. I'm glad I didn't. She's 13, so that would not have been good. But, no. I got a lot of the same stuff. I'm like, just give me a planner, shit like that. I would not complain. Fernando asking Mr. Marceau, what are the NFL games to watch this weekend?
We're getting down to the nitty-gritty now. Houston and LA should be good. That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday Night Football, I believe it's the Eagles and Bills, which should be a good game. trying to think who else is playing this weekend. I got knocked out all my fantasy football, so I'm kind of tuned out on the whole league in general. Yeah. The games yesterday stunk. But it's not the NFL's fault. All the teams, like, pretty much that played had, like, injured quarterbacks. So we got, like, the Chiefs played, like, nothing against the Chiefs, but, like, they had, like, their third-string quarterback. So did the Commanders, and so did who else played yesterday? The Vikings. Vikings actually won.
Oh, wow.
But let me see. I'm pulling out, like I said, Houston and LA Chargers should be a good game. Seattle and Carolina, I guess, is kind of decent. Eagles, Bills, like I said. Bears and Niners is the night game. That should be a good game. That's that could be first place in NFC. So yeah, no, there's a couple good games this weekend.
Yeah, I think it was on Monday. We were watching. Well, we watched Raw. We finished Raw. I think the Patriots game was on. Dillon was going crazy over the Patriots game.
That was Sunday night, brother.
That was Sunday night?
Mm-hmm.
No, I got my days mixed up during all that. I don't even know what fucking day it is. But they were going nuts during the Patriots game. Was it a good game? Do you think they were going crazy just because they're Patriots fans, or was it a legit good game on last Sunday?
I mean, they came back, so they probably thought it was a great – I thought it was a decent game. I mean, Lamar Jackson got hurt, and I feel like that kind of hurt Baltimore. Baltimore's kind of cruising at one point.
Damn.
And then Lamar Jackson got hurt. But, no, good win. I mean, road win, and so they came back.
And did they win? Or they came back. They came back and won. Okay. Yeah. Eric asking what happened to the Legato leader. He resigned a wealthy contract or something a while ago and nothing. Yeah, no, Santos has been MIA for months now. I think they just resigned him just to bench him. So
he's on the coconut loop.
He's on the coconut. That's the last thing I heard.
He's at AAA. Come on.
Of course. He's under a mask now. He's in AAA, working 3 times a year. Oh, God. We'll talk more about this next thing when we go through the awards here in a minute. But Fernando asking, can you guys see TKO wanting to go in a different direction creatively and move away from Triple H in 2026? I don't think they dumped Triple H. I've seen rumors, they were pissed over Cena tapping out. They're not dumping Triple H. They could. Will they? No. What were you going to say, Mr. Marceau?
I'm going to say no. I think there's too much of like a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, do I think everything he did was great? No. Do I think he had some bright spots? Yes. I think the problem is people look at like the bloodline. The bloodline, for how great it was, like, is going to basically be the benchmark to everything else going on for the future. So, like, yes, it was a good time for the company. Everyone loved it. Like, if you go back, watch those SmackDowns and Raws, there's some pretty rough SmackDowns and Raws, but and we'd always get the Roman Reigns or some kind of bloodline thing, and people would just kind of pass it to the side.
Yeah.
I think, like, as a show overall, it's probably a better show now. I guess you're not getting those huge moments like the bloodline, but I think people just have it in their mind that, like, oh, the bloodline was so great, now everything else is, like, subpar.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I think it was a fine year. Was anything great? Like, the bigger spots kind of all flopped. I think that's kind of what's looked at, like, the bigger moments of the year kind of, like I said, flopped in a sense.
Yeah.
When the Cena retirement tour, they kind of booked everything around that, and that itself was not great. But I think, like I said, I think people look at it and say it was not a great year, but I think there was a lot of good moments. A lot of people broke out. The Cena stuff's kind of like the bloodline stuff kind of overlooming the whole landscape. But, I mean, I think Triple H did well. I mean, they're still making money. It's one of those things, if they start losing money, okay, maybe they'd probably go a different direction. But I think for now they're fine with what's going on.
I think this will be interesting to revisit a year from now because they made a lot of money this year, broke a lot of records. That wasn't really a concern. How much money they made this year, like, that's such a broad statement because there's so much that goes into, how much money made and whatever. How much money they made this year compared to last year, I don't have the statistics in front of me. But this year, a lot financially was dependent on that Cena retirement tour, which, regardless of what happened creatively, which was all over the place, as you just said, was always guaranteed to make a lot of fucking money. Next year, they don't have that golden goose of John Cena retiring. Now, we are seeing AJ Styles retire next year. We know that for a fact. Maybe Brock, maybe Jericho if he comes back. All big moments. It's not the same thing. John Cena, there you go, Brock. He's probably at SummerSlam. Not the same thing. And, especially with all of those things, with John Cena, he had all the hats and the shirts made for each city. He was better than those cities. That's why he was a heel wearing that. That's what he told me during the Chris Van Vliet interview. That's what I learned. because such a fucking. I'm still losing brain cells from the interviews that he's done in the last 2 weeks and how dumb those answers were. My point is, they made a lot of money off Cena. Next year, they don't have that. So creatively will be a different story. Every year it's a different story. I do think this was the weakest year overall under Triple H since he took over 3 years ago, in my opinion. We'll get into that. But I will still take 2025 WWE over 2021 WWE. 2020 WWE. I mean, those are COVID years, but even before that.
The Vince stuff, it's great.
Bring him back, right? Weren't you leading that movement? Bring him back.
You didn't see my tweet? Bring back Vince.
Hashtag bring back Vince.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I'm not psyched for like 3-hour SmackDowns again. That's just inviting me to not give a shit. Among other stuff in the new year. But I think consistently overall, the shows are better than they were. Now, that's a low bar because Vince really set the bar low. Triple H can do better. Wasn't a terrible year. Was it a weaker year than we've been used to? Yes. Was it awful? Is like the world ending? No. We're good, guys. We're going to go through these results and explain why that is and the year that was, and AEW as well, but WWE specifically, because there was a lot of conversation this year. I do think they need to put forth more effort into improving stuff next year for sure. I'm not excusing that. There's a lot of shit they done wrong. And not just doing shit for moments, by the way. The John Cena thing being a prime example. Oh, let's do it for the fucking moment. Oh, my God. And then there's no aftermath. Like, oh, yeah, where do we go from here? Yeah, just have him shit on the crowd, and it won't make any sense, but it's fine. Like, just have him go out there and make a moment. Enough with the moments. And also, they kind of got screwed this year as well, to be fair, on injuries. Rollins was the world champion. Everything was built around him. He got fucking hurt. Naomi had that amazing moment at Evolution. Women's world champion got hurt. And a lot of Liv Morgan was out for like the second half of the year. What'd you say?
Pregnant, but not.
Oh, I'm sorry, not hurt. Two very different things. A good problem to have, but still, she got pregnant. So some things you just can't plan for. Creatively, though, there are a lot of things they could have done better and some things they could have done worse. But Daniel said earlier, RJ, streets need another Shudder recap, or Shudder. He's asking.
Shudder?
Yeah, Shudder. I always mispronounce it.
Sucked it last week. I watched.
He also said, Lions lost yesterday, and the Knicks won. My Christmas was great. And he also said, my ex is a dancer for the Lions, so it's personal. LOL. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, Santos is one of the Grande Americanos. It seems like it. Daniel said, why would TKO be mad Cena tapped? Why do these folks think that they even care about the product in that way? They don't. I don't know why anyone would even think that's like true. Because, I mean, it was from an illegitimate source.
Let me check I got it written down right here.
He's got it in his notes.
So priority 1 is revenue, 2 revenue, 3 revenue, 4 revenue, 5 bottom line. Okay, that's what they care about. All they care about is making money. They could give 2 shits less of creative decisions. If the creative decisions makes the money, they'll love it. If they don't make money, they'll hate it. It's all a matter.
You're telling me they don't care about my opinion complaining online about whether Cena tapped or not?
No.
I thought that meant everything to them. Triple H is on his burner as we speak. I mean, they pay attention.
He took over my account.
He did and stuffed the ballot for these awards. Do I think that they pay attention to the backlash? Yes. Triple H definitely does. Do I think they overly care about it? No. Do I think TKO cares about it? Not a single fuck is given about fan backlash. Now, if it affects their business, yeah. But like even with something more serious than Cena tapping, like when Brock came back and there was the whole controversy there, justifiably so, that was kind of a bigger conversation. Did it affect their business? No. I mean, did the WrestlePalooza show with him on it do as well? Reportedly not. But did it have to do with people not watching because of Brock? Probably not. That probably had to do with the fact that it paid fucking $30 now, unless you already have the ESPN shit or whatever. That has much more to do with it than Brock being not a angel of a
people
person.
Not watching is more the fact that people don't buy ESPN. It's not because of Brock.
With the PLEs, yeah, and the others, yeah. I don't think that's the vast majority of people at all with the whole Brock thing. But that's a separate conversation anyway. RJ, better heel turn? Well, he said heel turn, not heel run. John Cena or Naomi?
I mean, John Cena, easily.
Yeah. I mean, better heel turn is Cena. Better heel run is obviously Naomi.
Run with Naomi, yeah.
I never realized how much word profits Cena provided in interviews, or word vomit, not word profit. Word vomit Cena provided in interviews without actually saying anything substantial. That's like every Cena interview for the last.
He's like literally built for fucking a politician office.
Seriously,
him and Cody are like the kings of giving you 5 minutes of words, and it's all garbage.
I feel like Cody's better at that, though. I feel like he's better. I feel like he's more honest.
I feel like Cody's
stuff.
maybe a little bit more open.
Yeah.
Cena's just like the straight, like, just word vomit salad, whatever you want to call it. Like, who cares? Honestly, I don't even know our time. Who cares?
Yeah. The man, I've seen people call him an android, and that is so accurate. The man is like a robot in those interviews. The only interview where he wasn't like that was that Joe Rogan one, and even then he didn't really give anything newsworthy, but at least it was more open and enjoyable. Like, all due respect to CVV and these other interviewers, but they got almost nothing out of him. And his response was terrible.
Who cares?
He said, rockin' Travis Scott. Who cares? That's his response. I got it on page 37 of my notes here. He said, who cares? Doesn't give a shit what you and I think. Fernando said, which match for World's End looks more interesting? I don't know what the full card looks like, so I am not sure. Though I am looking forward.
I think they all look good.
He is excited. RJ's already bought the pay-per-view. He's ready to go for Saturday. But I am looking forward to that four-way for the AEW World title. I will say that. And I think MJF does walk away the new champ. Bring back Shane McMahon. Let's not and say we did.
No.
When can we see Mercedes with no belts in 2026? Probably later on. She still has another 10 to lose from all these.
Sounds like she's getting a decent amount of jobs.
She is losing these titles, which is great. I'm glad. I didn't know if she would. But, you know, she has another 10 to lose. So she's going to get beat 10 times in the next 2 months? Probably not. She has a lot of Outlaw, Mud Show, Indie championships to lose by next year. So she's got some time.
My question is, what was building her up to just lose all the belts?
Maybe to make it feel like she was going to make it. I don't know what their idea was in giving her all. I mean, obviously for the indie promotions, it gives them more exposure. For Tony,
I understand that, but like for her to win all these belts to just lose twice to the main champion, then she's just. Let me check my notes. I have it on page 38.
Okay, I was on 37.
38 loser.
Yep. Loser, yeah. Well, I mean, I like the story that she can't win the big one because she will eventually. I just think. I don't mind that story. What I don't really care for is that it makes the TBS championship secondary because she lost the top title twice, like you said, not once.
And then
but
she
twice.
also beat everybody else on the roster like 1,000 times.
Yeah, so it makes them look like they're beneath her, which I guess in essence they are. I don't really like that, but you know, if they have her win the big, I'm just glad they didn't put the top title on her this year. Not that she's not good; she had a great year, but it just wasn't necessary. You're gonna give every fucking belt to this woman. Now she's going for the tag titles on Saturday. Enough. Enough, please. And Athena being the one to beat her for that TBS title would be great. I just don't know if they're going in that direction. Daniel said, haven't even bothered watching the Cena or Cody interviews, or their interviews specifically with each other, for that very reason, and I'm a fan of both, LOL. I mean, Cody, I think, is more open. I think, like, the Cody, for example, he does the podcast, What Do You Want to Talk About? He did an interview. I mean, he wasn't being interviewed. He was doing the interviewing. But one of the best things I saw all year, he did an interview with Kevin Owens. That was fucking great back over the summer.
His with Owens and the one with Becky Lynch I really like.
Yeah, I haven't seen the Becky one. Oh, no, wait. Which one did I
think
watch?
You did.
Maybe
you watched the Owens one. The Owens one was really good.
The Owens one was great, but I definitely watched another one of Cody's. I don't know if it was... Oh, Ricky Saints. I watched the Ricky Saints one. That was really good too. I have to watch the Becky one. Yeah, he's done a lot of good ones. Cena hosting his own podcast would be terrible. They would just be exchanging codes the whole time for how their Android bodies work. Anyway, so we'll get into the rewards here. Thank you guys so much, or the awards, not the rewards. No rewards here, just awards. Thank you guys so much for voting in the 2025 WWE AEW Year in Review Awards. Thank you to Mr. Marceau for stuffing the ballot as many times as he did. So if you see any skewing in the results here, it might be his fault. You can blame him, okay? It's not. I didn't do anything on my end. I didn't even vote, obviously. But these were available over at WrestleRant.com. We appreciate you guys voting in this. And one last thing here, Fernando said, so you're saying there's going to be no F grade coming from you for Bleach Report for this weekend? No, there's no F grade on Cena's retirement tour or anything coming from me. I don't know where that would have come from, but it ain't from me. Definitely not on Cena's retirement tour. Well, we'll start at the bottom here and work our way to the top. we got the show of the year for 2025. I only put 5 shows here because some shows were canceled, like Rampage. I didn't put on fucking Level Up and stuff like that. I didn't put Evolve on here. I only put 5 options. They included Raw, the all obvious choices: Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, and Collision. As I ask you every year, Mr. Marceau, what did you vote for, and what do you think won? Oh, I may have lost Mr. Marceau. Give me a second. May have lost him here. Oh, I think your audio and video, Mr. Marceau, is off. When you get a second, we'll just wait for Mr. Marceau to come back. Either that or it's not working. It may have disconnected. But if you guys are still watching live, we're live, pal. We'll get to these results in a second. But we're going to break down the show of the show first, the show of the year first, and then we'll get to the rest. But like I said, it includes Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Collision. I did not include any other shows. I just included like the main shows. We used to have Level Up on there. I took that off. I took off Rampage because Rampage got canceled at the end of last year. And that was really all the shows. I mean, most of the categories had 6 categories on them, but this one I only had 5 because that was all I could kind of provide because there really weren't many shows to choose from. And this is different from the PLE of the year, by the way. That is different entirely. So, give me one sec as I pull up the chat here. Muhammad's saying, I wish Randy Orton came into John Cena's retirement match. Yeah, I wish Orton was there too, but I guess he was busy promoting the Mr. Beastland or something. He was at Mr. Beastland in Saudi. And he was also there promoting the Royal Rumble going to Saudi in 2026. So it sucks that he wasn't there, but I did see him share something really nice about Cena on Instagram, saying they exchanged texts earlier in the day or whatever it was. And I thought that was really nice. It was better than nothing. Even though he wasn't there, he actually got to kind of pay tribute to Cena in a different way than we would have otherwise liked, unfortunately. But, still, I thought it was nice for what it was. Give me one sec. Let me just check on Mr. Marceau's status here. If you can hear me, Mr. Marceau, it still says no audio and no video. So if you're still here with us, let me know. I don't want to remove you or anything like that, so I think you're good. Or just text me if you have any issues or whatever. But anyway, it's also very possible he may have lost internet or something like that as well. But I'll go through the results first. I'll start revealing the results while we wait for Mr. Marceau, and we can always go back a little bit later on. And yes, Fresh Fly, thanks for joining us. Great to see you here in the chat. Mr. Beast is a billionaire? I feel like he's a fucking trillionaire. Mr. Beast is he's definitely got a lot of cash. Thanks for joining us, Fresh Fly. I forgot to mention this earlier. I think I did mention at the start of the show, but as we go along with the show here today, before we go through the results, as we await Mr. Marceau's return, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on notifications for when we're live. You get the live developments as they come. One of the best things we did this year was going live for the show every week, but when we go live, you get technical difficulties every now and again, so it happens. So you just kind of figure it out on the fly. No pun intended. Fresh Fly said, WrestleRant and RJ, what would you do if you became a billionaire tomorrow? Great question. Take me to WrestleMania with you. Not in Saudi. I would not take you to WrestleMania in Saudi. I would go to WrestleMania. That was my first thought. I mean, I go to WrestleMania anyway, but maybe I would get front row seats, because one thing I have not been able to do in my time as a fan is get one of those fold-out chairs. I do have one. It was from a show that I was at, but it's not because I got it there. I got it after the fact from WWE Shop, because I always wanted one of those fold-out chairs. So that would be cool, though. And he also said, anyway, I hope you all had a great holiday. Thank you, Fresh Fly. I appreciate that. I hope you had a great holiday as well. And Muhammad said, Mr. Beast is so much better than Elon Musk. Oh, I would probably say so. If we're comparing here, I feel like that's probably accurate. All right, so while we wait for Mr. Marceau, I haven't seen anything on my end as far as when his status might be repaired. Hey, he hasn't texted me either, so I may have lost him. I don't know what happened to him. But we'll start going through the results in the meantime while we wait for him. We had, with 3% of the vote, AEW Collision, 4th place. SmackDown, also with 3% of the vote. SmackDown was not a good show in 2025. So I'm glad, obviously, that was nowhere near the top 3. AEW Dynamite in third place with 26% of the vote. Number 2 for Show of the Year, as voted on by you guys, WWE NXT with 32% of the vote. And in number 1, the Show of the Year, Raw, with 37% of the vote. That surprises me. Honestly, I expected Dynamite to win that one. I was hoping for... I think personally, if I had to choose, Raw was the Show of the Year. I feel like consistently it was more, not must-see every week, but quality-wise, I feel like there was a lot of great shows, some really good episodes, consistent storytelling, far better than SmackDown. I mean, the fact that Raw is in first place and SmackDown's in fourth with 3% and Raw has 37% does not surprise me at all. So Raw did really well. Raw's the Show of the Year as voted on by you guys. And I think Raw overall was just a really good show this year. And people are like, oh, bring back the WWE from 2024 or 2023. I honestly think Raw was a better show this year than those years. I really do think they have put forth more of an effort into improving the quality of the show from week to week, now that it's on Netflix, than when it was on USA Network. And obviously, like the celebrity cameos and stuff like that, I don't really care for personally. They haven't really focused on that as much in the last several months, which is good. But like the matches are really good. You don't have the show stuck at 3 hours. It can be as long or as short as they want it to be. Last week's show, or this past week's show rather, was only 90 minutes. It was like a 95-minute show, and they put it up on Netflix as soon as Raw was supposed to air live, so you could just watch it on VOD, which was awesome. I thought that was sick. No commercials either. So just having that sort of luxury is great, but also the quality of the show. Not every Raw is must-see, but most Raws have been far better than SmackDown. And even Dynamite, I thought was a good show this year. Dynamite overall, I thought was pretty solid. Collision having 3% of the vote, I mean, does not surprise me. Collision had some quality shows, but overall it's very forgettable, not must-see, really nothing out of the ordinary. But Dynamite, I could see. If you voted for Dynamite as the Show of the Year, it's, personally, in my opinion, I wouldn't argue with you. I could also see the argument there for having great matches, some good storytelling. There were some periods where it felt like the show kind of featured the same thing every week. I guess you could say the same thing for Raw, but I say that for Dynamite in the sense that there was a lot of multi-man matches and the money matches and the all-star tags and all this other sort of shit where I'm probably not going to go back and rewatch almost any other Dynamite from 2025. You could probably say the same thing for Raw, but I just feel like Raw had a better year overall. NXT, I would not put at number 2. I don't know how NXT got so many votes. I am shocked that NXT got as many votes as it did for the second best show of the year. Dynamite, to me, was a much better show than NXT. I like NXT. There are periods where NXT is a good show. A lot of the time, it's a very missable show. So that really surprised me. I don't really know why that ended up being the show of the year, or the second best show of the year for NXT. Their PLEs were also not great either. But Ahmed said, oh, wait, Mr. Marceau, hold on. They're back. Wait, give me a second. Can you still hear me, Mr. Marceau?
I can hear you.
He's back.
I texted you. I had unexpected visitors come over. So.
Oh, yeah, no worries. You didn't miss much. I was just going through the show of the year, so I'll just run it down real quick. Did they vote? Did they vote in the year-end review awards?
They did not, but I voted a few times, so hopefully my vote.
You voted for them because you stuffed the ballot.
Yep.
Okay. So show of the year, I already revealed the results a second ago, and so the chat knows, and I'm going through the chat, but we had Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Dynamite, Collision. What did you vote for as the show of the year, and what do you think won?
I think I put Raw.
Okay.
I bet you Dynamite won, but I put Raw.
Okay. Fifth place, 3% of the vote, Collision. SmackDown, also 3% of the vote.
That's about right.
And it tied for fourth place, I guess. Dynamite was in third place.
What?
26% of the vote. Good amount of votes, but still third place. NXT at second place with 32% of the vote, and Raw with 37% of the vote. So, as I was saying a moment ago, I think Raw had a really good year overall.
Raw was solid all year.
It was good. I think, honestly, being on Netflix, they're not, stuck at a 3-hour time period or something. They have that flexibility, which I think is nice. NXT being second place, that genuinely surprises me because I don't think NXT was an overall great show this year at all. It wasn't terrible. I mean, I think I would put Dynamite at 2. I agree with Raw at 1. But what were your thoughts on Raw in 2025, now that it's on Netflix and all the hype around it and whatnot?
Yeah, no, I think it's more of a solid watch. I mean, I'm glad they were on Raw this week, which wasn't great, but the whole Grande Americano, like that was kind of like all in our face for a while.
Yep.
Luckily, that was kind of gone away. Like I said, we saw them on Monday, but I don't know. I thought overall, very solid weekly show. Wouldn't say it was must see, but I feel like you got a decent amount of good stuff every week. Couple good matches, couple good segments. Like I said, I thought overall was a solid watch. SmackDown was terrible. That's a tape show. That's when you get the fast forwarding button going. And I thought, like you said, NXT I thought was a solid watch as well. But no, I'm not surprised Raw won.
I can't see SmackDown doing much better in next year's polls now that it's going back to 3 hours at the beginning of the year. I mean, that show just needs a lot of, not even just it's the 3 hours, they just need a lot of creative help on Fridays. Raw, it shocks me it's the same company booking both of these shows. Raw is just a much better show than SmackDown. When you take away like the celebrity cameos in the crowd and you focus more on the matches, and I don't know, I just feel like Raw most weeks is just a really good show, especially compared to what it was a few years ago.
I agree.
And Dynamite, I would put at number 2. NXT is fine, but I'm not really sure why NXT is 32% of the vote. A lot of NXT fans that voted this year, including Mr. Marceau. Hey, listen, I like NXT. I would still go Dynamite over NXT personally. But Ahmed said earlier, I disagree. I thought Raw had a downgrade year compared to 2024, but that's just me. I mean, that's not that egregious because Raw was a good show last year too. I think it was better this year though. You got fresh faces in the mix, some nice moments. I just like the fact it's on Netflix. Like they're airing it now internationally when it airs at 3 p.m. over there, local time for us. It's airing at 3 p.m. and we can watch it at our own leisure at any point. I love that sort of thing. And it's not about the quality of the show. Yeah, I think that is a benefit though.
Like last week's show was a tape show and it was like you didn't have commercials. It was perfect.
It was great. It was over in an hour and a half. It was a fucking gem. I was like, God bless Santa Claus, an early Christmas gift. Let me see here. Freshfly said, I feel like Dynamite doesn't have any good storylines that are entertaining in my opinion. I mean, it's not they don't have
agree. I haven't seen anything.
They don't have any. It's not they don't have any good storylines. They just don't have enough of them. And it depends on the time of the year. Like right now, it's the Continental Classic. I was at Dynamite this week. Had a great time. Is it a must-see show most weeks? No. And I think Dynamite's a very good show this year. I still think Raw was better. Muhammad believes Raw was a downgrade because TKO got involved and Vince McMahon not being there anymore. Whoa, Muhammad, listen. Vince being there is a positive. We were joking about that earlier, but Vince is awful for this product creatively, so let's not begging back. Let's not be begging that Vince come back. It said, I thought Dynamite was the show of the year, the Hangman redemption arc with him defeating Moxley to All In Texas. That was awesome, but you're talking about a pay-per-view. I'm talking about Dynamite. There weren't a lot of great Dynamites leading into All In. They were decent shows. I think Raw was more of a must-see show, and the quality, like I mentioned earlier when you weren't here, Mr. Marceau, like I know you're not watching Dynamite from week to week, but like you see the fucking graphics. This Wednesday, 8 All-Star Tag Team match. This Saturday, $800,000 tag team match. It's the same shit. I feel like I'm watching the same show on repeat. And the matches can be great, even better than WWE's on Raw, but the storytelling, I think, is better on WWE's end. Or at least it was this year on Raw, in my opinion. Fresh Fly said, like Hangman and Swerve are cool with each other now after Hangman burned his childhood home down. That should have never happened. I don't mind that because it's the whole story they've told. And they're not like cool with each other, but they don't hate each other as much. So there is that. Fresh Fly asking, Mr. Marceau, is that a fresh fade?
It's not, no. I just got a haircut. It's not the fresh fade. It's
not the fresh fade.
0 all over, no fresh fade.
It's coming in 2026. Fresh Fly voted Raw, and Ahmed said Raw was negative this year. Was the Vision versus LA Knight, Jey Uso, or any of the combinations of babyface them standing tall every week. Yeah, just talking about that. I mean, I don't think that was great. That definitely got repetitive after a while. I can understand that. I'm just saying overall the show was better than Dynamite. Just my opinion. But I mentioned All In Texas a moment ago. We get to the event of the year. So now we get back to multiple categories. Some of these had 4, some of these had 6. The show of the year had 5. I kind of bounced around this year. This is for pay-per-view / PLE of the year. We had a number of shows. The Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, All In, All Out, Revolution, Evolution, Double or Nothing, and Crown Jewel. Mr. Marceau, What did you vote for, and what do you think won?
I voted for Evolution. I think overall was the best WWE show year round.
Okay.
What won? I'm gonna say, I'll say Crown Jewel.
You think Crown Jewel, people voted that for show of the year?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So here are the results of what people voted for the 2025 PLE pay-per-view of the year. Coming in last place, we actually have a four-way tie. 3% of the votes went to these four shows. Crown Jewel.
Okay.
Dead last. Double or Nothing surprises me. I think Double or Nothing was a very good show, but I saw
Couldn't even tell you what happened.
I know you couldn't, but it had Anarchy in the Arena, which I think is garbage, but that's just me. Osprey and Paige was amazing. I'm surprised this came in, and this also, just by the way, is not like, everyone, the WWE won every category. Just letting you guys know right now, this is not a WWE skewed results. Unless Mr. Marceau stuffed the ballots, it might be. But Double or Nothing I saw by Sports Illustrated was voted their pay-per-view of the year. So I'm surprised that did not get more votes. Revolution, very good show. Awful fucking ending with the whole cash-in. I think that was when Christian cashed in the briefcase during Cope and Moxley, which was an awful match. Terrible ending. Overall, the show was good, though. And Royal Rumble was also in last place with 3% of the votes. It was a very good show, but it was so long ago, people kind of forget. It's fine, I understand. Fourth place, All Out. That was headlined by Adam Page and Kyle Fletcher for the AEW World Championship. Third place, Elimination Chamber, which was an excellent show back in March, featuring the Cena heel turn. 2 great Chamber matches, Owens and Zayn, unsanctioned. I think the return of Orton, Jade Cargill, excellent show. Second place, All In with 30% of the votes. And number 1, Evolution with 38% of the vote. Me personally, I would have gone Elimination Chamber on this, just because I think it was one of the best B shows the company has ever done. It had 4 matches, I get that. But of those 4 matches, like I said, there was a throwaway tag team match with Trish and Tiffany versus Nia and Candice. That was fine. But the 2 Chamber matches were great. Owens and Zayn was fantastic. Jade came back. Orton came back. The Cena heel turn. The aftermath was awful. But the moment was great, and the crowd in Toronto was incredible. I say Chamber, but I get Evolution because you had that amazing ending, and that I know you weren't a fan of at the time, Naomi cashing in. But we had Rhea and Io, a fantastic match at Evolution. And, we had the Battle Royal. What else was on that show? Jade and Tiffany had a no DQ match.
Jade faced Naomi.
Not Tiffany, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jade and Naomi in the no holds barred match.
Tiffany faced Trish Stratus.
That's what it was. That was a good match.
The 4-way for the tag belts was good.
That was a good 4-way for the tag titles. Triple threat for the women's IC belt was also great. Becky, Lyra, and Bayley.
JC Jane versus Jordan Grace, which was also a great match, and that's when Blake Monroe turned heel.
Yep, I remember that match as well. So that was the show of the year for 38%. All In getting second place, I'm fine with that. All In was a great show. We mentioned Page and Moxley for the AEW World Championship. The Casino Gauntlet matches were really good. Cope and Christian kind of started their reunion on that show. I think that was Mercedes and Tony Storm as well. Okada, Omega. Excellent show, one of AEW's biggest shows in Texas. So, you would agree with Evolution as the show of the year.
Like I said, that's what I voted for. I thought overall it was WWE's best show of the year.
Yeah.
He said, I don't recall a ton from Elimination Chamber. It's like a while back, but I just remember Evolution being a really overall solid show.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get to these companies overall this year and where they kind of struggled. But honestly, where I don't think they struggled was on the PLE pay-per-view front. I think a lot of their shows this year were really, really, really good. I mean, AEW's pay-per-views, it's a lot of matches and they run a long time. It's just they're too fucking long. But overall, they're great shows. In WWE, even some of their lesser shows that aren't like overly important, like Clash in Paris, for example, not the most important show, but the crowd was great. They had some really good matches on that show. Honestly, I think the weaker shows, I think conspicuous by its absence here, I did not even include it because I know it wouldn't get a lot of votes. I did not put WrestleMania in this ranking. It was not a great overall Mania this year. It was good. It was a mixed bag. That and SummerSlam, not great shows. Survivor Series was okay. People shit on that, and I didn't put that in here because people wouldn't have voted for it. But Interesting year where the PLEs overall were really strong, especially for WWE, but their biggest show of the year was far from their best and actually one of the weaker ones in 2025.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand. I see that. I understand that. I feel like you said, I feel like they've kind of molded, which I think sometimes could be a little bit more. It's usually like a 4 or 5 match card. Probably shortchanging people. Could probably put a 6th in there if you really wanted. Don't want to go the opposite and go crazy with it, but I mean, then you make these bigger shows. You're adding, I mean, SummerSlam had 13 total matches. They're usually working between 5 or 6, so you're kind of maybe putting some on there that probably shouldn't really be on there.
Yeah.
But you also have 2 nights, so you kind of have to. Some of the matches overall weren't great. I know, like Tiffany and Jade was like one of their bigger matches for SummerSlam. That match was kind of like a flop. It just is what it is. I mean, like I said, I feel like the more matches you put on the card, the more likely there's going to be some stinkers on there.
No, totally agree, and I think we're only going to deal with that more as we go into 2026. The Rumble is still one night for now. I think that might change. I think the more matches, and you don't think so?
That might be one of the worst decisions they ever made.
Oh no, I agree. That would be awful. I'm just thinking it's probably coming, not next year in 2026, but maybe in 2027. But I do agree. I feel like when you have more WrestleMania, I'm okay with. I feel like WrestleMania, even as a 2-night show, has been better because when they shove it all in one night, it was awful those last few years. Albeit under Vince and not Triple H, but it wasn't great. 2-night Manias I'm cool with. SummerSlam, you don't really need 2 nights for. It led to fucking, and I like Jacob Fatu, but it led to Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa making the card in a cage match that sucked. It was not a good match at all.
I think like if the problem with a lot of the show is like I don't mind the 2-night shows, but they also have so much going on right before. Like we had a show right before SummerSlam. Like Evolution was like a couple weeks before, and then a couple weeks before that was like a Saturday Night's Main Event, and then like Night of Champions. Like they have so many things that are like they're too close to each other. Like if it was beginning of August with SummerSlam and like the last like PLE or special show was in June, okay, you have a full month to build into it.
Yeah.
It's not like I feel like some of the matches, like you said, felt rushed or aren't as special because we're getting so much. Like they need to kind of like condense the schedule. But I know they're probably never going to do that, but like I feel like that is what hurts it.
It's weird because honestly, I feel like the PLEs, if you just do PLE, the amount of PLEs, I'm honestly okay with. Maybe 1 or 2 more than I would probably do. There could be a month where there's no PLE, make the Raws and SmackDowns bigger, do the big matches on those shows, whatever. The problem is that we have the same amount of PLEs, but they added on, like you said, the Saturday Night Main Events. I forgot to mention that. There were 5 of them this year. They had one in January, the week before the Rumble. They had one in May over Memorial Day weekend. They had one in early July with Goldberg's last match. Not another one until November 1st when Punk won the world title. And then one a couple of weeks ago with John Cena's last match. And they're continuing the same amount in 2026. That's too many. I think twice a year would be a lot better. And they're not even on NBC anymore, which is good because the commercials were fucking terrible. But at that point, guess what? If they're on Peacock exclusively, they're basically PLEs. They're basically just PLEs at that point. It's the same fucking show. So I'm not saying do away with them entirely, but they got to figure out the schedule, like you said. There's just too much content.
I don't even know if I'd say they have to figure out the scheduling. It's just like the booking needs to like match the shows. Like I'm fine with some of the Saturday Night's Main Events because I said depending on like the smaller PLEs, okay, maybe we would get like instead of watching this match on SmackDown, like you said, like a ton of commercials, they'll put them on Saturday Night's Main Event, so you're not getting as much commercial of it. The problem with Saturday Night's Main Event, it's like a glorified house show. They don't like really book it as a PLE. It's like heels went clean and it's very predictable. And it'd be one thing if there was actual progression. We really have. I don't think outside of like Owens at one time attacking Cody, we really haven't got like great progression coming out of Sunday Night's Main Events. It's more like someone wins and we move on. Like realize there's been a lot of title changes. So if they can use SmackDown and Raw and like maybe the smaller storylines and then put on Sunday Night's Main Event to make it more must-see, okay, I get that. And like then you have like a smaller PLE with 4 or 5 matches. You get the other matches that you're kind of working on. And that okay if you're kind of fixing the booking, but I feel like it's not what we're getting. We're getting like this match in Sunday Night's Main Event, and like the next week there's a match that's so similar. It's like, why are we doing this again?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they got to figure out the formula with that. I would still lessen the amount of them that they do, but that's probably not going to happen because I think they're contracted to do a certain amount. But if they have to do them,
I thought it was supposed to be one per quarter.
yeah, now they're doing fucking 5. There's not 5 quarters. That's not how it works. That's what they said. Now there's 5. Come on, man. That makes no sense. And it's not even per quarter. It was like I said, January, May, okay. July, all right. And that's a little, like a month and a half later, but okay. November, that's 4 months later. And then December, which is a month later. That's not even at all. And it just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, but I do think they had a lot of good PLEs this year. AEW had a lot of great shows. If you voted all in, that I would go. My show of the year was Elimination Chamber. I would probably go, in my opinion, Chamber, All In, Evolution. I think I would probably go in that order, but the order that we got is fine. Freshville, I voted for Chamber. Ahmed also said Chamber, saying that the Chamber matches were good. The Cena heel turn was great. The heel run was disappointing. Obviously, we know that sucked. And KO and Sammy's match was awesome. Yeah, great show. Really like that show. Chamber the last couple of years has been good. The Australia show last year was a glorified house show, but it was fine. The one that we were at was excellent. So they're kind of on a roll with Chamber, making that a bigger show in recent years, which is fun. Feud of the year. Now, this is interesting because I think this is where we talk about PLEs, a lot of great options. And I'm not saying because I put them in there. I'm just saying there's a lot of great shows this year. Not as many great feuds, to be honest with you. And we've talked about this before, and you already know my answer, but I'm going to go through the nominees here. For Feud of the Year, CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, Darby Allin versus the Death Riders, or Moxley, it's the same thing, Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, and Toni Storm versus Mercedes Moné. Mr. Marceau, what'd you vote for, and what do you think won? What did you want to win?
I mean, you already know what I voted for. I voted for Becky and Lyra. I mean, I think it should probably win. I mean, especially on the WWE side, there really wasn't like a ton of great feuds.
Yep.
Becky and Lyra was great. They had great promos. It kind of got Lyra on the map. They had good matches besides the last one. The finish of the last one was terrible. Made no sense. Becky won, then held the belt for like 3 months, did nothing with it. Finally, she lost to Maxine, which is great because I feel like she's kind of getting her footing now. But
yeah.
Lyra probably should have been the one to get the belt back from her, but we'll just move on from that. But overall, I think it built Lyra into a bigger star. We kind of got this new Becky Lynch character, which is she's doing well with, and it helped prop up the IC title, which I saw the other day. It's almost a year of us having the women's IC title. I think overall, it's been a great run. We started off with Lyra. Becky won the belt, propped it up. Lyra has been doing good. Now Maxine seems to be doing a lot better than she was doing before. Hopefully she loses it soon to like Roxanne or someone. But overall, I think it was a success. And I think this feud definitely helped that. So this is the match I picked.
You took the words right out of my mouth. And again, this is no surprise. How many times have we said this in the last 6, 7, 8 months? The feud of the year was Becky and Lyra. It was an excellent feud. I mean, they really made that title important. You said we're approaching the 1 year mark of the women's IC title. It was fine to start. Like Lyra winning the belt as the inaugural champion was fine. And she was having some title matches with Ivy Nile. No one really gave a shit. Raquel, no one really gave a shit. Bailey, even at that point, no one really even gave a shit. But the Becky stuff, they were cooking with fucking oil coming out of WrestleMania. The Becky heel turn, something I didn't know we needed until we got it. We got Becky back this year. She wasn't around for the first 4 months. She came back, won the tag titles in her first match back, lost them the next night, or I think it was the next night because they were on
next
Sunday.
Night.
Yeah. Turned heel on her that night. It was like, whoa, that was crazy. They got a lot of promo time. I think we got something on Raw that we did not get on SmackDown in WWE. Promo time and character development with the women. I thought they did a great job with that. I did not put on Asuka and Io in here, or the Kabuki Warriors and Rhea and Io, but that was another really good story told this year. Didn't include it, but it was a good feud. But yeah, we get more of that on Raw, much more compared to SmackDown, where it's like, oh, Jade against Michin. Like, who gives a shit about that? Like, who cares? On Raw, we get actual good progression with the women. And guess what? Not only were the promos good, the matches were great. Becky and Lyra had some of the best matches all year, made that belt matter, and the aforementioned triple threat at Evolution as well was great with Bayley. Lyra kind of got over during the feud, and she's still over now. She's not over, but she got over because of that feud. My only complaint was how it ended, like you said. The SummerSlam match was not great, and the finish was lame with Becky retaining. Not even the fact that she won. The way she won, Bayley like being on the apron, was fucking lame. Otherwise, great feud. So that's my feud of the year. But what did you guys vote for feud of the year? I see Fresh Fly said he voted for Cena Cody. Ahmed said Hangman Moxley. The redemption arc was really good, he said. And Fresh Fly said, Becky put over Maxine and let her take the IC title off of her. Shout out to Becky Lynch. Yeah, Becky Lynch had a great year. We'll talk more about the women's wrestlers later on. But back to the feuds. Last place in 6th place, or 5th place, I guess, technically. Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné with 5% of the vote. Fine feud. The match at All In was great. But the feud, Mercedes is not great on the mic. So that was the worst feud of this bunch for the year. Tied for 4th place with 8% each. Darby Allin versus the Death Riders and John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Justified. I think Cena and Cody had moments, glimmers of greatness. That was actually the opposite of Becky and Lyra, where the entire feud honestly kind of sucked. A lot of the promos really weren't good. That Mania match was awful. And then they had the best part at the very end at SummerSlam, which was an excellent match, which we'll get back to that later. 3rd place. 19% of the vote. Adam Page versus Jon Moxley, which I agree with Ahmed. Good feud, great redemption arc, great moment at All In. But the feud of the year comes down to 35%. That's what won. 2nd place was 24%. Feud of the year with 35% of the vote. CM Punk and Seth Rollins. 24% of the vote. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. I agree it should have been Becky and Lyra. I get Punk and Rollins. It's the idea of, they've been feuding all year. Ergo, great feud. It was a good feud, but it kind of had moments it was like, So we had that great Netflix match almost exactly a year ago. Really good match. They feud going into Mania. They should have faced off at Mania. They did, but they threw Roman into the mix too. And that was good, but it kind of muddied the waters. Rollins goes heel. Okay, this is interesting now. Punk chases Rollins. Punk never gives him his comeuppance. He lost to Rollins at Saturday Night's Main Event in a tag team match. That's where Bronson Reed debuted in the Vision. Punk went after the WWE title against Cena. Rollins cost him that. Okay. Punk went for Money in the Bank. He didn't even qualify because of Seth Rollins. Rollins won Money in the Bank. Rollins wins the world title. Punk goes for the belt at Clash in Paris. Lost to Seth Rollins. He did beat him at WrestlePalooza in the tag match, but honestly, that was more about Becky and AJ than it was Punk and Rollins. And they were going to have another match seemingly at Saturday Night's Main Event in November, but then Rollins got hurt. So Punk never actually, he beat him on that first Raw on Netflix, but he never ended up getting him one over on him aside from the mixed tag after that. And it never really ended. Now, Rollins got hurt, so they didn't forget about it. But I don't know, man. It never really... they would go there and they would kind of cool it off. Go there and then cool it off. It was like a feud that was there, and it was a good feud. Becky and Lyra, to me, was more of a complete package, and I know you agree.
No, I agree. I feel like it was a 6-month program, and I feel like you said, besides the last match, which I didn't care for the finish, I thought overall everything they did was great.
Literally, from Mania to SummerSlam, that's how you do it. Every single week was a great promo from those two. Becky's heel work this year was great. We'll go back to her later on. Great heel work this year. Lyra got over. The matches were great. It got everything. It checked every box except for the finish at SummerSlam. I still would put it number 1. Punk and Rollins, I get it, but it was there and then it wasn't, and then it was there. It wasn't consistent. And it also went on for way too fucking long. It's can we please move on from this? There is such thing as feuds going on for too long. Moment of the year from both companies. This is what the nominees were for Moment of the Year. John Cena's heel turn, of course, from Elimination Chamber. Adam Page, the aforementioned. I mentioned this a couple times. I think this was AEW's best moment of the year. Adam Page dethroning Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship at All In. Paul Heyman betraying Roman Reigns and by default as well aligning with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 41. Speaking of Seth Rollins feigns injury, cashes in Money in the Bank successfully at SummerSlam. Heist of the decade, century, millennium, whatever the fuck they're calling it now. Ruse of the century, I guess. Jurassic Express reunite at All Out. I like that moment. And AJ Lee returning on SmackDown on September 5th, 2025 in Chicago. Mr. Marceau, what'd you vote for, and what do you think won?
I voted for the Cena heel turn. I think that's what should win and will win.
Okay. I mean, it was easily the biggest moment of the year. Had more people talking than anything else. How could it be anything but that? But maybe it is. We'll see. It could be. Could be something else. Maybe it's Adam Page and Jon Moxley, which also was an amazing moment, like I said. So let me pull it up here. Ahmed said voted for Ruse of the Century was really good, but they really wanted to... It really wanted to be like Drew versus Punk, but it just didn't deliver. Oh, yeah, talking about the Punk and Rollins feud? Yeah, I think Drew and Punk was the feud of last year. And they wanted Rollins and Punk to be that, and it just wasn't the same thing. And Ahmed said, obviously, it's got to be Cena's heel turn. Well, let's see. Last place. Rollins feigns injury and cashes in at SummerSlam with 3% of the vote. That should have gotten more votes. That was a great moment.
It should have got more votes, but I think him getting hurt right after hurt it.
Okay, yeah, actually getting hurt and not feigning an injury, yeah. Should have gotten more votes. Next with fifth place. Jurassic Express reuniting it All Out. I thought that would be last, but that got more votes than the Rollins one. Fourth place with 8% of the votes. Paul Heyman betraying Roman Reigns. After 5 years, by the way. It was a great moment at WrestleMania and a great triple threat. I mentioned that match in the match of the year. We'll get to that later on for the men's. Third place, Adam Page dethroning Jon Moxley at All In with 13% of the vote. That should have gotten more, in my opinion. Great match. Amazing moment. Daniel Bryan was in there. Darby Allin came out. It was great. Should have been either first or second, but it's in third. So in first and second, second place has 18% of the vote. First place has 53% of the vote. I think we know where this is going. First place, the winner of the moment of the year, John Cena turning heel at Elimination Chamber. Second place, AJ Lee returning, which was also an incredible moment at 18% on SmackDown back in September. We talked about how bad the heel run was, Mr. Marceau. We sound like broken record at this point. We've talked about it for weeks now in the wake of Cena's retirement, how bad the fucking run was. But just to talk about the moment itself, it will go down as one of the biggest and best executed moments in WWE history. Aside from the fact that Alexis mistakenly spoiled it for you before you saw it unfold. But beyond that, how did you perceive the heel turn from back in March?
No, like you said, it was one of those things we were talking about before. We just didn't think it really made much sense. The kind of run kind of proved that. But like in the moment, like you said, it was a huge moment. We kind of thought we were going to get rocked back with Travis Scott and Cena. Obviously, that didn't happen. But Cena turning heel, something we didn't expect. The run itself, we could talk about it for days. It was terrible. But the moment itself, I mean, a lot of casual people were talking about it. Older wrestling fans. It was a big enough moment that, like, it was something that most people were talking about or at least saw. So definitely the moment of the year. Just the follow-up was just awful.
Yeah, no, and we talked about it even before it happened. Why Cena going heel would be fucking dumb because it didn't make sense. And guess what? It didn't make sense. But it's still moment of the year because the execution was amazing. And I feel like in that moment, we talked about it at that point, I hated how it came together because it made zero sense why they would turn Cena heel in his last year of all years. But that being said, it was an interesting approach. It was a risk. Talk about risks. That was a risk. And not only that, it was like, okay, if we're going to do this, let's go all in with it. Like, I don't like that we're doing this, but if we're going to do it, I'm excited. This is new. It's fresh. We'll see where it goes. And guess what? It sucked, and it did not make sense, and they did not go all the way with it. He came out to his same old music 2 or 3 weeks later with the same old stupid hat and shirt. Made no fucking sense. He broke up with us only to get back together with us by SummerSlam, which was stupid. But the moment was incredible. And I agree. Ahmed said it's the second best heel turn right below Hogan's heel turn. We just didn't expect it during Cena's retirement tour. I agree. I think I would still put Hogan's heel turn number 1. I would go Cena 2. Would you agree with that, or where would you put other heel turns there?
It's up there.
I mean, his first heel turn in 20 years, which is huge.
I mean, like I said, the moment itself is huge. Obviously the run, it was just awful.
Yeah.
I mean, the turn itself was like unexpected. So, I mean, it would have to be up there. Like I said, I feel like I look back at it worse because the run was so bad.
Yeah. But it still wins, I mean, as it should. But yeah. It will be forever marred by the aftermath. And I think this will be Triple H's like what the invasion was to Vince as far as like the biggest fuck up creatively he ever had. I think this will be Triple H's biggest fuck up. Unless something even bigger happens, which is going to be hard to fumble something even bigger than this. Breakout star of the year for 2025. We got Penta, Speedball Mike Bailey. Lyra, he had a great year. I know that's where you voted, but it's okay. Lyra Valkyria, Kevin Knight, the Jet Kevin Knight from AEW, Stephanie Vaquer, Megan Bain, Roxanne Perez, and Tekla, also from AEW. I included a lot of women on this list. There are 5 of 8 people, 5 of them are women. The women had a great year in both companies. And, I mean, what's breakout? Like, so Penta debuted in a WWE this year. Bailey, Kevin, both debuted in AEW, as did Tekla and Megan Bain. Lyra was already on the main roster, but she did nothing last year, and she really did have a great breakout year. Stephanie debuted in the main roster this year, as did Roxanne. So that was my criteria. But who was the 2025 breakout star of the year, according to you, Mr. Marceau?
Out of this list, this was a pretty easy one for me. It had to be Stephanie Vaquer. She debuted on Raw, won the Women's Championship, still holding it as we speak. Really over with the crowd. I mean, compared to everyone else, she's at a totally different level. I think, it had to be her. I mean, if Javon Evans was on here, you maybe would be near her, but I think it's got to be Stephanie. I like Roxanne. I like Lyra. They both had good years. But, I mean, accomplishments and overness, I think it has to be Stephanie. Lyra should be a close second or third, but I think Stephanie's one.
And I will say this. I know it's kind of difficult to decipher what is a breakout star because you mentioned Javon Evans. If I included NXT, I would have put him on there. Although he debuted in NXT last year. But, like, he's not on the main roster yet. He's going to be a part of this next year. It's hard to include him because I didn't want to do NXT stuff this year because there was not enough great NXT stuff to include in this list. But like Femi, they had a lot of great stars in NXT this year. That's why Javon's not on there. Ahmed said Dominic. The thing with Dominic is that
he's already broken out.
Yeah, like I feel like I put him in this category 3 years ago when he joined the Judgment Day. You know, like he did have a great year as Intercontinental Champion, but he was already over. He was already having Mania matches against his father. Like he's already done great stuff. So I wouldn't go with Dominic for that reason. He said he won the IC title at WrestleMania 41, won the AAA title, beat Cena in his last major PLE at Survivor Series. Yeah, but again, he was already broken out. Like, are we going to do this again next year when he breaks out and wins a world championship? Like, I don't know. It's kind of hard. That was my criteria for this category specifically. Last place, 0% Kevin Knight. Sorry, Kevin. Guy's great. No votes. 3% of the votes in 7th place. Megan Bain. I think had a good year. She debuted this year. For the Exotic Goddess, whatever her name is. But, she still has some more work to do. We have, at 5% of the votes, tied for 5th place or whatever it is. They're tied with 5% of the votes. Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Tekla. 2 good years for both of them. Mike Bailey I already knew from TNA. Tekla I was not familiar with at all, but I thought they had 2 good years, though. 4th place, 8% of the vote. Lyra Valkyria.
That's disrespectful.
Should have been higher. She had a great year this year. For all the reasons we mentioned earlier, should have been higher. 3rd place, 13% of the vote. Penta. And I will say this about Penta. That makes sense. I think having him at 3, maybe a little bit higher.
Yeah, I feel like he was just kind of there.
He was kind of there, but the fact, one, that he even works there to me is crazy. And I'm biased because I've always been a big Penta fan. Cero Miedo, I am your master. But he was over from day one. He's been a consistent force on the show. He didn't win any titles, but he challenged for the IC title a bunch. Hopefully he has more to do next year. And it was a low bar because this year he just debuted. But I feel like he got over, sold a lot of merch. I was really happy to see him in WWE this year. I didn't even put Phoenix on here. He debuted this year. He did even less than Penta. He did fucking nothing. So I couldn't bring myself to put Phoenix on this list. But here we go. We have first place, 51% of the vote. In second place, 15% of the vote. So just switch the numbers back and forth. First place, Stephanie Vaquer, as you would expect. In second place, Roxanne Perez, who's honestly a lot higher than I thought she would be. I would probably put her below Penta and Lyra, but still, she had a very good year as well. One half of the, I think she lost the women's title from NXT at the beginning of the year. She held the tag titles very briefly with Raquel, but she was tag team champion, joined Judgment Day.
She was in Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, Elimination Chamber, Rumble she was in, and then debuted on Raw right after WrestleMania. So give me your thoughts on, I guess Roxanne's 2025 as well, but specifically Stephanie, now she really burst onto the scene and became a star this year.
No, yeah. I think they both had a really good year. Stephanie, obviously, like I said, she broke out and won the women's championship, still women's championship now. I think she is a star right now all over. I don't know. I think she's great. I think she still has some to work on. I feel like they kind of went straight rocket, and I think she does have some things to work on.
Promos especially.
Promos especially, or in-rings, I think could use some work. We get it that she can bash the person's face in her ginormous asses in the air, but that doesn't make you a great wrestler. No, I thought, like you said, she had a great year. Once Naomi went down, or went out of action, I guess the best way to say it.
Yeah.
I think it was down between her and who'd she face?
Oh, for the title?
Io Sky. Yeah, it was her and Io. She beat Io there, which is for obviously a big moment. She's held the title since. So that's good going into 2026. Expect her to hold the belt probably a little bit longer. I don't think Nikki or Raquel beat her, but who knows? Maybe we get a Nikki Bella run in 2026, which I'm not looking forward to, but we'll see what happens. Roxanne, like you said, she's kind of positioned lower mid card. Hopefully IC title in the near future. Still part of Judgment Day. She's all over Raw. So definitely two worthy top two people.
I agree. Stephanie especially, she had a great year. She only signed with the company like a year and a half ago, which is insane. Like, she signed with them in July, debuted in NXT in October, won the North American Championship in February, won the NXT Women's Championship mere weeks later in March, made her first Raw appearance the night after WrestleMania. She was in the Royal Rumble as a surprise entrant for the women. Debuted officially on the main roster in June after losing the NXT Women's title in May. She was in Money in the Bank in June. She won the Evolution Battle Royal that July. She was off TV for a little while there for some reason. I don't know why. I think she was injured or something. And then won the Women's Championship in September. And she's been champ ever since. Had the match with Nikki at Survivor Series, which was okay. The match with Raquel recently on Raw, a few of them that were good. I hope they haven't, strap the rocket to her too quickly, like you said, to where she fizzles out after it's over. I don't think so. She's also gotten over as well, largely due to the Devil's Kiss. But I do think Stephanie's great. She's a star, and I'm hoping for an equally big year for her in 2026. Do you think she goes into WrestleMania with the title? I could see Nikki winning it briefly, but you don't think Stephanie holds the title till Mania?
Like you said, I think she could lose it and get it back, but I don't think she'll hold it all the way there.
Okay. I could see her defending against, I think she'll lose it and get it back, but like you said, maybe that like even Nikki as soon as Raw this coming Monday. But with Stephanie, I could see Stephanie and Rhea having a match at WrestleMania for that Women's World Championship, which would be awesome. So we'll see. And I'm going to ask, where's Kyle Fletcher on the list? Didn't include him. He had a great year. Kyle Fletcher had an excellent year. Did not include him. I feel like he broke out last year. He was in this list last year. He joined the Don Callis family a year ago. Turned on Will Ospreay a year ago. Didn't really feel like he had a breakout year, in my opinion. Fernando said Bandito. He was both Ring of Honor World Champion and co-holder of the AEW Tag Titles for a while and had killer matches. Bandito had an awesome year. I guess I probably could have put him. He's been in AEW for a while. Yeah, I feel like he already kind of broke out a while ago. That was my problem, but I could see why you would say he was a breakout star, but he had a great year, though. Women's Match of the Year from WWE and AEW. Here were the nominees, Mr. Marceau. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley. You're going to see Io's name on here multiple times, by the way. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 41, Night 1 for the Women's World Championship. Toni Storm, Mariah May at Revolution in the ending match, or whatever they called it, at Revolution this year for the AEW Women's World title. Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria. Really take your pick, but I put Money in the Bank here because I thought all their matches were great except for SummerSlam. Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné for the AEW World Women's Championship at All In. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley at Evolution for the Women's World title. Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter from Double or Nothing in the finals of the Women's Owen Hart Cup. Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer at WrestlePalooza for the vacant Women's World Championship. And last but not least, most recently, Mercedes Moné versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's World Championship at Full Gear. Mr. Marceau, a great year for women's wrestling, I'd say, overall, in both companies. And there's matches I didn't even include, like Women's Blood and Guts and some other shit as well. A lot of excellent matches this year. What was your pick for match of the year, and what do you think won?
I picked Io and Rhea from Evolution. I hated the finish, but I thought overall the match was amazing. You didn't include their triple threat from SummerSlam, which was also equally good. As I thought it was weaker than the main event or the one from WrestleMania.
Yep.
But it was also another great match. But I picked Io versus Rhea at Evolution. Like I said, I hated the finish, but like before Naomi came out, they were having an amazing match. So that's what I voted for.
Yep.
Best match, I think triple threat. People probably lean the triple threat. I think Io winning was kind of more of a surprise. I think most people thought either Bianca or Rhea would get the belt back. Io did retain. But I'll say that one, but I chose Io versus Rhea from Evolution.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah, no, a great year for women's wrestling. I did not include several matches, including that one that you mentioned. Io and Stephanie had some matches on Raw that were great. Becky and Lyra from Backlash you could put on this list. I didn't put Charlotte and Tiffany from Mania. That wasn't that great of a match, but it was good. The Women's Chamber I thought was excellent this year. I liked the
Women's Chamber was good.
Women's Chamber was good. Women's Rumble was good this year, I thought. Jade and Naomi had a couple of really good matches at Mania and at Evolution.
The Mania match is the best one, yeah.
It was actually a very good match. I was surprised about how good that match was. Yeah, the triple threat from Evolution with Becky, Bayley, and Lyra was also excellent. There's a lot of matches I could not include, but 0% of the vote. We had Mercedes Moné and Chris Statlander from Full Gear. A recent match, but no votes for that match. It was very good, but not as good as their pair of matches from 2024. Next up, we had Mercedes and Jamie Hayter from Double or Nothing. Also 0 votes. Very good match, but it was the finals of the Women's Owen Hart Cup and kind of got overshadowed by other stuff on the show. Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer with 3% of the vote from WrestlePalooza for the Women's World Championship. Also 3% of the vote, Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné from All In. That should have been a little bit higher. That was an awesome match. Should have been a little bit higher here. 5% of the vote from Money in the Bank is Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Third place, we have Io Sky and Rhea Ripley from Evolution with 13% of the vote. Arguably should have been higher, but it was a great year for women's world of wrestling, so it's kind of hard to say. And then in first and second place, respectively, first place had 55% of the vote. In second place had 21% of the vote. First place in the women's match of the year, according to the voters, was Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair in their triple threat match from night 2 of WrestleMania 41 back in April. In second place was Toni Storm and Mariah May in the ending match from Revolution back in March with 21% of the vote. So the match of the year, Mr. Marceau, Sky, Ripley, and Bianca from WrestleMania. Sky and Rhea was the Evolution match at third place.
Okay.
Again, all great choices here. Kind of hard to rank them, but I think it was an amazing year for women's wrestling, like I said.
No, yeah, I think overall, especially on Raw especially, we had a crazy year for women. SmackDown, I feel like, I don't know when they did the draft or whatever, it was very top heavy, and I feel like we kind of found that out like middle of the year when we were getting like the U.S. title matches. It was like the same 3 people facing off.
Yep.
Bianca was hurt for most of the year. She's still out now. So I think that hurt SmackDown a lot. They took Charlotte and Alexis, put them in the tag division. That probably hurt a little bit as well. But no, I thought Raw overall was like a solid year for the women. Just in general, I feel like just looking at their women's roster now, it's stacked. So
yeah,
overall, great year for the women. Tough shoes to fill next year.
Yeah, and honestly, I would go with that as my match of the year for the women, Sky, Rhea, and Bianca. That's one of the best triple threats I've ever seen. That started the show. I was like, holy shit, that match was incredible. And Io winning was even better. She won shock win. We were all excited. The subsequent reign wasn't great. Didn't really remember much about it. She barely defended the championship. But an amazing match back at WrestleMania from those 3. And all great matches from all of these women that I mentioned. Eric said, how long do we think Dom will be out for? Is he actually out? Has something been reported in the time that we've been talking as far as is he injured indefinitely? I don't know. Hopefully not long. I don't know how serious the injury is. Ahmed said the triple threat cooked. Fernando said Swerve and Will Ospreay versus the Bucks was his match of the year. I don't even have that on my men's match of the year. It was a good match, but it's not even on my list. And Grunt, what's going on, brother? He said, howdy, folks. Hope everyone had a pleasant Christmas. You as well, Grunt. Thanks for joining, and we appreciate the pleasantries. Men's match of the year. And let me pull up the nominees here from both WWE and AEW. Here's what was voted. Here's what I included. Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins from WrestleMania 41, the Triple Threat from Night 1. Jon Moxley and Adam Page from All In for the AEW World Championship. John Cena and AJ Styles from Crown Jewel. Adam Page versus Will Ospreay from Double or Nothing. The finals of the Men's O&R Cup. The Street Profits versus DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. Love this match. From SmackDown on April 25th, 2025 for the WWE Tag Titles. Will Ospreay and that was a TLC match. Will Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher at Revolution instead of a steel cage. John Cena and Cody Rhodes in a street fight for the WWE title at SummerSlam Night 2. And Bro Dito versus FTR for the AEW World Tag Titles at Full Gear just last month. Again, a lot of amazing matches this year, Mr. Marceau, from both companies. And some matches I could not include. But what was your match of the year, and what do you think won?
I picked the triple threat for Mania, Roman, Rollins, and Punk.
Okay.
It was, for me, it was between that and Cena and Rhodes, which was also a good match. I feel like Cody winning was kind of obvious, so I feel like that kind of took it away from me.
Yeah.
With the triple threat, it was probably one of those. I mean, I thought any three of them could have won. Rollins obviously wins, lines with Heyman. So I went with the triple threat for Mania.
All right, good match, good match. Now, I will say as we start off here, as I reveal the results, honestly, from here on out, except for one of the categories, most of the categories are pretty evenly distributed. So before, like 55% of the vote. With these going forward, not as much. There's a bit more divisive voting going on here. Ahmed said, so where's the triple threat Punk, Roman, Seth, and Mania? No, I mentioned that. Now, RJ just said that was his match of the year. I did mention that. And Grunt said, hot take, I prefer Bro Dito versus Okada and Takeshita at WrestleDream over their match with FTR. That was also a great match. I prefer the FTR one. I was there, so I'm biased, but both matches were great. All right. So men's match of the year, 5% of the vote, last place. Ospreay and Fletcher steel cage from Revolution. It was so long ago, people kind of forgot about it. That's fine, but still a great match. 8% of the vote. Bro Dito and FTR from Full Gear last month. Also a great match. 13% of the vote from SummerSlam. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Surprised that is not higher because that was one of the best matches all year. Also with 13% of the vote. The Profits DIY Motor City Machine Guns and from SmackDown back in April. Also 13% of the vote. Adam Page versus Will Ospreay from Double or Nothing. And also at 13% of the vote, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins from WrestleMania 41. The top two are as follows. Second place has 15%. First place has 21%. The men's match of the year, as voted on by the voters, is John Cena versus AJ Styles from Crown Jewel. In second place with 15% of the vote, like I said, Jon Moxley and Adam Page from All In. That was probably the most surprising pick out of all the ones that I saw. I love Cena Styles. It was a great tribute match. It was not the match of the year. I think all of these matches are honestly maybe even better than that one. What's your take, Mr. Marceau?
Yeah, no, I totally disagree. I feel like Cena Styles, like I said, it was just like a spot fest to like the nth degree. They kicked out at every move. They hit everyone's finisher. It was just like a work rate fans like wet dream. I mean, he hit every move under the sun. Still kicked out. To me, I don't really care for spot fest. So to me, like I got the whole tribute thing, but like it got to a point to me, I'm like, I'm waiting for the bazooka to come out. So it definitely wasn't my match of the year. At least I know people like work rate and hitting 1,000 moves and kicking out of them, but to me, it was not my cup of tea.
Yeah, no, it's funny because, I mean, people really, really like that match in the moment, and it was a great match. It's absolutely worth watching. It was a really fun match, but, like, there's matches on here that are absolutely better than that one. That was just really surprising when I saw that. I'm just thinking, I don't know. That was a great match, but there could definitely be better ones than that. I honestly would have gone with Moxley and Page over Cena and Styles. That was a much better match. Even the Triple Threat for Mania, that was not my match of the year. For me, if I had to choose, I would probably go Moxley Page, probably for men's match of the year. Cena Cody I liked, but too many bazooka kickouts at SummerSlam, like you said earlier. That was ridiculous. Yeah, all the other ones are good, but I probably would go with, personally, Moxley Page. At least that came in second. Cena AJ, I don't agree with that as a match of the year, but it might be a recency bias. Fernando said that was definitely not the match of the year. Come on, voters. I agree, but that's what people voted. Tag Team of the Year. We have, as the nominees from WWE and AEW, like I mentioned, The Judgment Day, The Hurt Syndicate, The Wyatt Six, FTR, The Street Profits, and Bro Dito. Brother, there weren't even enough fucking tag teams to make it out for 8 different spots. I just did 6 spots. Even in AEW had a better tag division overall this year. WWE's on SmackDown was amazing for the first 6 months, and then they just forgot about it. There weren't even enough teams to include. So I had to go down here to only 6. Who was your tag team of the year, Mr. Marceau?
I just feel like I couldn't pick one out of the names, so I just picked FTR. I just went chalk. Didn't see any of their matches this year. I bet you they were great. But I just went with them because I couldn't stomach any of the WWE teams to vote for. So I just did FTR, went with the chalk vote, but I thought WWE had a pretty. I mean, I think AJ and Dragon Lee are starting to do some good stuff now, but I wouldn't include them in this list because it's so late and recent. But besides that, I couldn't even give you a team.
Yeah, they were definitely. I was going to put them in here, but it was so recent that I couldn't put them in. For me, it's FTR. I think overall the entire year. I mean, I know you didn't even see a match of theirs, but I mean, they're just the best team of the year. I know you could say, oh, maybe the Bucks. I like the Bucks with the whole losing thing. I thought that was entertaining. I didn't even put them in here. I just thought the other teams, FTR, Hurt Syndicate, and Bro Dito, had better years, so I didn't put the Bucks in here. But yeah, those are the teams I included. So with 0% of the votes, not a single vote, last place for the Wyatt Six. I like the Wyatt
Alexis
Six.
didn't even vote for him?
No, Alexis didn't vote for the Wyatt Six. Listen, I like the Wyatt Six. They won the tag titles over the summer. They've been champions ever since. No one really seems to care because they didn't get a single fucking vote. They're the current champions, and they did not get a single vote, which is pretty crazy.
I can't believe Alexis didn't even throw a pity vote in there.
Fake fan. I mean, come on.
Fake fan, if I've ever heard
Seriously. Ahmed said he's got Bro Dito or the Street Profits. 10% each for the aforementioned Street Profits and FTR, which is extremely low. They were tied for 4th place. Profits had a good year. FTR had a much better year. That is ridiculous. Come on, guys. 10% of the vote, give me a break. 12% of the vote in 3rd place, the Hurt Syndicate. I mean, hard to have a bad year when you don't really do many jobs. So, I mean, they were the champs since January. Through like fucking October or some shit. They were champions for a long time. Good year, great year for the Hurt Syndicate, but not the team of the year for me. Not a lot of great memorable matches from them. So then we had 1st place and 2nd place. 1st place had 51% of the vote. 2nd place had 17% of the vote. In 1st place, the tag team of the year. And honestly, this one, I can't be too mad at it. Bro Dito. Amazing tag team. They had that match with FTR I mentioned earlier from Full Gear that was awesome. The issue with them, I would still go with FTR. Bro Dito only joined forces in like August. So they weren't even around for the full year together. But people thought they were the team of the year. Can't complain about that. They had a great year. And the Judgment Day, why the fuck are they in 2nd place? I mean, I know the Judgment Day are a thing, but like they held the tag titles and never defended them. Why? Like, I included them to be nice, but they should not be 2nd place. That is completely ridiculous. Your thoughts in the state of tag team wrestling in 2025, Mr. Marceau?
Yeah, I mean, I think Raw, you said Raw recently has done a little bit better. We got the Usos back in the tag division. Yep. AJ and Dragon Lee been back, are doing pretty well. Viking Raiders came back. They lost. Good. Move on from them. Judgment Day, like you said, it needs the whole thing just needs to kind of start imploding a little bit. It's been a little too long for my liking. SmackDown couldn't even name you a tag team at this point. But I mean, like I said, I haven't seen any of Brodito. I hear a lot of great things. I haven't seen a match. But no, I'm stunned FTR was that low though.
Yeah, no, that's completely ridiculous. I'm sorry. Ahmed mentioned the Street Profits are slept on. A great match with Fraxi in the TLC match on SmackDown and SummerSlam. I agree, all great matches. Profits also should have been a little bit higher too. The SummerSlam match was fantastic. I did not put that in the match of the year because I included the one from SmackDown, but in the match with DIY as well, you mentioned, yeah, Profits had a really good year. They're not on TV right now and haven't been for months for some fucking reason, but overall, beyond that, they had a good year. So now we get down to the last two categories, guys, the top two biggest categories. Female Wrestler of the Year. Here were the nominees. Again, great year for women's wrestling, so this was tough. Io Sky, Timeless Toni Storm, Tiffany Stratton, Mercedes Moné, Naomi, Chris Statlander, Stephanie Vaquer, and Becky Lynch. Now, again, it's a tough category. I did not put Lyra in here. Stephanie was included twice. I put her in Breakout and this one. She just had a great fucking year in NXT too. Didn't put Lyra in there. Didn't put Rhea in there. She didn't do a whole lot, but she had a great year in ring-wise. Great fucking year. So I had to leave them out. Who is your Women's Wrestler of the Year, Mr. Marceau? I think I already know the answer, but I just want to hear you say it.
Yeah, I mean, this one's a tough one. I mean, I think in-ring-wise, it had to be Io. She had so many great matches. Character-wise, I feel like you got to go Becky. Becky, I mean, she literally rejuvenated her career, put other people on the map. Her character work recently has been great. I like her new theme.
Yep.
I like her new look. Her matches have all been pretty good to great. So like character-wise, I'd lean Becky, but like match-wise, I mean, I don't think she had a bad match all year. The thing is obviously the character and the mic work that will always hold her back. But in ring wise, I mean, she was on your list 4 or 5 times. Probably could have put a couple more matches on it for Women's Match of the Year. So overall, she had an amazing year.
Yeah, no, I agree with both of those picks. Becky had an awesome year overall. Helped elevate Lyra. Helped elevate Maxine. Helped elevate the Women's Intercontinental Championship. She would probably be my pick because she also had some great matches too, not just helped people. She had great matches, great promos, overall package. Io, I can understand the case for her too. In ring-wise, she was awesome. Booking wasn't always great. Her title run was kind of forgettable, unfortunately, but that match at Mania was incredible. That's really all that matters. And she's been a regular on Raw. She's even more over now than she was last year. And again, like people like Rhea, I could have put on there. I didn't have a chance to include her, but she had a great year too. We were complaining about Rhea Maivia a few months ago, but she hasn't held the title since March, and she's been booked fairly well, and they kept her busy, so I like that. Asuka had a good year. A lot of women had a good year. Jade Cargill came back, turned heel, won the title. She did fine. Tiffany was undefeated all year. I mean, she had a good year too. Not even talking about that. I love Charlotte and Alexa as a tag team. They worked really well together. Fun team with those two. So a lot of good picks. And AEW had a great women's division too. 0% of the vote, unfortunately. Last place, Naomi. I don't know why. Naomi had a great year, so she should not be in last place. I felt bad when I saw that because she turned heel, won Money in the Bank, won the Women's World Championship. She was tag team champion to start the year. Naomi should not have 0% of the vote. That was unfortunate to see.
Yeah, but it's one of those things. If you're it is, but it's. I mean, not everyone can get votes, unfortunately. Everyone's like you said. There's a lot of people on this list that had great years, so there might be someone that got no votes.
Yeah, no, that is true. I would just go like Stephanie, I think, had a worse year than Naomi. Tiffany was champion all year, but Naomi, I think, they had better character work. But people don't look at that. They might say, "Oh, Tiffany champion for 10 months. She's the Women's Wrestler of the Year." I don't know. It depends on what your criteria is, I guess. Naomi last place. After that, with 2% of the votes, Chris Statlander. Good year. She won the women's title, and she didn't really do much for the first 6 months. So that's why I would not. Good year, but not good enough. 5% of the vote. We had a tie here for 5%. Tiffany Stratton, again, champion all year, but her character work suffered compared to how she was as a heel. And Becky Lynch had 5% of the vote as well. I guess you see, she's gone for 4 months to start the year. Oh, she didn't compete for the women's world title. Oh, she didn't win the women's world title. Okay, bad year. It's not as simple as that, guys. Come on. 17% of the vote. Another tie here. Toni Storm, excellent year. Again, so that makes sense. And also with 17% of the vote, Stephanie Vaquer also makes sense. We talked about that earlier. I think Becky had a much better year overall, but it is what it is. Ahmed said before I go further, in-ring-wise, EO, but character work and in-ring, elevating a championship, got to go with Becky Lynch. I agree, Ahmed.
It's the same thing, yeah.
The more voters should have thought the same thing, but I guess not. So first and second place, 29% to 24%, your female wrestler of the year, Io Sky. In second place, Mercedes Moné. I think Mercedes Moné also had a great year, held a lot of titles, had a lot of great matches. Her character work, I fucking hate. I mean, I don't really like her promos at all. The belt collector shit does nothing for me. But in ring-wise, she killed it in AEW, so I totally get it. But to me, of those two, it should be Io. Overall, I'm going Becky, personally. I think it was more of a successful year. And I know you had just said the same as well.
Yeah, no, like I said, I think in-ring-wise, Io had so many great matches, but her character work was... it's always going to be a limitation for her. And like you said, her reign as champion was not great.
Yeah.
That's more of a booking thing, but like she won the title, was on Raw for a while, and then like randomly like defended it and like whatever. She had some bad promos in there. But I think I will say her character, like her new character work with Rhea has been great. Obviously them teaming up, I think a lot of people like that. Like they're kind of like the new Charlotte and Alexa. So I think they've done great there, kind of moving away from the title picture. But like you said, Becky came back, won the tag belts, put Lyra over, kind of got Bayley back on track, put Maxine over, did the great stuff with AJ Lee, has great new character. She's, like you said, I feel like character-wise, she has to be on there. Obviously, she didn't wrestle a ton of matches, but the ones that she did have, I thought, were good to great. So, I think Tiffany, like you mentioned, had a great year champion. Her character work was just not really there all year. I don't really know what they did with her. She was champion all year. She beat Jade at SummerSlam. We were stunned. I thought she was easily losing the belt.
Yep.
Beat her in a forgettable 7-minute match. Beat her again. Then they just randomly had her lose to Jade. Jade killed her. Haven't seen her since. But, I mean, like you said, champion all year. The character work was horrendous. I don't know if that's a SmackDown thing or what, but I think she should be a little bit higher, but like I said, her character work was just awful.
Yeah, no, and I like her as a babyface because she's over, but like she's a much better heel. Her promos haven't really changed or evolved at all. The Charlotte feud was all over the fucking place. I mean, those promos and matches were like, they were okay. I like the Mania match more than most. The Nia feud went on for way too long. They feuded almost all year, which was way too long. Didn't even put that in the feud of the year because no one would fucking vote for it. But yeah, I think Io, I get. She had an amazing year. Honestly, I totally see her as the women's wrestler of the year. I just think bigger picture here, I'm going Becky for all the reasons you mentioned. But Io, I totally understand. And it comes down to this. Male Wrestler of the Year for 2025, 13th Annual Year in Review Awards. Our nominees, Mr. Marceau, include John Cena, Jon Moxley, Cody Rhodes, Adam Page, Jey Uso, Will Ospreay, Seth Rollins, and Kazuchika Okada. So I didn't include Takeshita. He had a great year. Bandito had a really good year. Kyle Fletcher had a good year. Those are all AEW people. WWE, I left out. Who did I leave out? Not LA Knight.
CM Punk?
I did not include CM Punk. I thought the people that I included from WWE had better years. So Cena, Cody, Jay, and Rollins to me all had better years. I tried to do 4 and 4. So I did not include CM Punk. I did not include...
I mean, Roman Reigns, but you wouldn't include him anyway.
Yeah, Drew. I guess this is kind of... the women really killed it this year. The men, honestly, it's just not the same.
This was one of the harder categories for me to vote for.
What'd you vote for? What do you think? Who do you think won?
I think I voted for Seth, and I hated voting for him. I love Seth. I think I've realized he's just a great chaser. Him as champion to me just does nothing.
Okay.
I know he got hurt in the whole Vision stuff, but like it wasn't really working prior to him getting hurt. I think like he had a good overall year. Obviously, he won a lot of big moments and stuff. He's more like a moment. I think it's more like he's a moment guy. Like he's great in the moment, but like the aftermath has usually never been amazing.
Yeah.
Like he won at WrestleMania and did the whole Paul Heyman thing, but like, it kind of like was like there. He won Money in the Bank, cashed in, that was great. And then after that, I was like, this isn't really working. Got hurt. They moved on from him, so we'll see going forward. But no, I think he had a great year. I don't know. Cody, to me, I'm just kind of tired of Cody at this point. Jay, he had good moments. His matches weren't the greatest.
Yeah.
And then I don't even know who else you had mentioned on there.
A lot of the AEW people.
Who was the other person from WWE you had?
Jay, I think. Oh, Cena.
Cena, I mean.
His best year in a decade, but I mean, that's not
I
saying
just
much.
didn't really care for the whole heel run. Yeah, like you said, the match with Dominic were fine. Gunther was good. But yeah, I voted for Seth. I didn't vote for anyone from AEW because I didn't watch it all year, so I can't really give you a educated guess on that. But on the people you did list, I'm assuming Ospreay will be up there. I think he got hurt fairly decent while ago, so I don't know how high he'd be. Paige obviously won the belt. I haven't heard anything great about Okada, but you had him on the list. And then Bandito, I know was a Ring of Honor champion at one point, but we didn't say much to that. So I vote for Rollins. I'd probably lean Ospreay winning, but I also didn't watch. I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen, and Fernando said a lot of talent was excluded. I would love to know who else you would have included. I mean, I feel like I had to kind of scratch for this category because there are good people, but like, who would you include? Dominic Mysterio? Dominic Mysterio is not going to fucking win this category. Like, he had a good year as Intercontinental Champion. He's not
Dom should have probably been in there instead of Jay.
Jay had a great year. Jay won the Rumble. He was super over, won the world title. He was involved.
But he didn't have like great matches though. Name a great match he had all year.
Did Dominic have a lot of great matches?
They had some good matches.
Jay and Gunther at Mania was good. The Rumble win was awesome. He had the best year of his career this year. I'm not saying he's my wrestler of the year. I'm just saying Jay had a really good year this year. The fans turned on him online, but not in the crowds.
No, I know that.
So, I mean, I know you know that, yeah. So, I don't know. I just don't know who. Yeah, Dominic I could say, but like, who else? I mean, like
Punk, I feel like should be probably on that.
Yeah, I would put Jay had a better year than Punk. Ahmed said Punk had an off year. I like Punk. I think Punk had a good year, but he didn't have like the best year of his career. He held the world title for a fucking 5 minutes, and then he won it in November. So it's kind of hard to include him. Ahmed said he's got Hangman or Seth. Ahmed said those Vision promos most weeks were boring. Yeah, the Vision really hurt Raw for a little bit there. And I like the Vision. I like the idea of it, but didn't really click. And Grunt said, you'll be shocked to hear my voting was very AEW heavy. Yeah, I'm very shocked to hear that, Grunt. I'm very surprised to hear that.
I think I've realized that people say this about Triple H. It's same for me with Rollins. He's like the guy that works with the guy that draws the money. I don't see him as the top guy, and people always said about Triple H as well. Like, he worked with the guys that draw money. And I think Rollins is right. Like I said, him winning the belt, it's just like, okay. I feel like he's great in chase. He's great winning. And then after that, it's like, okay. Like, I don't need to see a long title run from you. Like I said, if you went by moments, this guy's career is like Hall of Fame, like possibly top 1 or 2, because he has like the greatest moments of all time.
And matches, too.
And matches. He has great matches, too. But like the runs are never great, and they never have been. Heel, babyface.
Yeah.
It just falls flat. But I think like moments-wise, he's got to be up there.
Yeah, I would not have put the world title on him. I get why they did, because everything was built around him. I would not have built it around him. I mean, like the whole idea of the Vision, like I get it was exciting at first, but it's like if you really think about it, Braun Breaker, why would he join with Seth Rollins? He was already on the ascent. He just fucking held the IC championship for 6 months, bro. Braun Breaker did. Why would he then join with a guy whose help he doesn't need?
Nelson Reed makes sense. Theory makes sense. Breaker didn't make any sense.
Breaker did not make sense. It's what they're
doing.
Besides
with Heyman.
Yeah, the Heyman thing I get. Rollins, most definitely not. Grunt said, I mean, he invites the comparison by using the pedigree. Yeah, he very much is the Triple H of this generation. I think he has better matches overall than Triple H, but I think that comparison for Mr. Marceau is definitely accurate. All right, so we'll go through the rundown here for who you guys voted as the male wrestler of the year. Last place, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what place this would be, but last place, tied for 7%. We got a 3-way tie here for 7%. Kazuchika Okada, who I think had a very good year as the Continental Unified Champion. A lot of great matches, but he didn't feel important to the product. He was champion all year unless he loses on Saturday, which is very possible. I think he might win and beat Takeshita in the finals, and they'll drag that out. But Okada had a good year, it just wasn't central to the product's, top storyline. So he's in last place with 7%. Also tied with Will Ospreay, who in ring-wise had an amazing year. But he wasn't the guy for them, and he also got hurt in the summer. So he missed about a third of the year there at the end. That's surprising. Didn't win any championships this year, I don't think. That also may have hurt him as well. But in ring-wise, he had an incredible year while he was there. And also tied for last place with 7%. Cody Rhodes. I mean, that was a guy that definitely won it in years past, but I think maybe even last year. But Cody, he lost the belt in a terrible Mania main event. Won it back. And the chase there was fine, but then he got it back in that great SummerSlam match. What has he really done since SummerSlam that's been overly interesting? Nothing. The Drew feud has been kind of just boring and has not been great at all. Okada had a much better 2025 than 2024. Grunt said, I agree. But yeah, Rhodes, I like Cody a lot. I'm not going to turn him heel anytime soon. Didn't have a great year, I think. It's just overall. Win-wise, yes. Character-wise, no. 12% of the vote. Jon Moxley. I would have put him lower on the list just because, he held the title for most of the year. The Death Riders improved, but they were still fucking death. He lost the belt in an amazing match to Adam Page. The majority of the run before that was fucking boring, not good, not interesting. Successful year in-ring-wise, good matches, but overall, not fucking interesting. I would put him lower. Tied for third place. We got a two-way tie for third place. John Cena, who was cooking there at the end the last few months. The heel turn was terrible. I think he could have been a lot higher, if not just one, had he not turned heel. And also tied for third, Seth Rollins with 15% of the vote. I think that perception of he's boring really hurt him here. You think he's the wrestler of the year, but you also have those criticisms. I think those criticisms for most people, outweighed what he did in the ring as champion, Money in the Bank, winning at Mania, blah, blah, blah. And also he got hurt, but at the very end. Ahmed said, talk about someone who had a downgrade year, Drew McIntyre. Oh, yeah, big downgrade year. I mean, last year he lost a lot, but at least he had the feud with Punk. This year he feuded with Priest, which was fine. Lost to Priest in the end. Feuded with Cody still, after all this time. Feuded with Jelly Roll. Who cares? Yeah, not a great year for Drew at all. So, first and second place. The closest of any category this year. 20% to 17%. First place in the Male Wrestler of the Year for 2025, Hangman Adam Page, and Jey Uso was second. I honestly would agree with this. I think I would say Adam Page was the Wrestler of the Year for me. His redemption arc was great. The match with Moxley was great. His run was only 3 or 4 months long, but when he was champion, I know you didn't see it, but he had title matches with Kyle Fletcher, Moxley on TV that was actually very good, not as good as the All-In match, but still very good. Samoa Joe, he beat at Wrestle Dream. I mentioned Fletcher. At MJF, he beat as well at Forbidden Door, great match. Didn't put MJF on this list because he didn't have a great year and he was kind of an afterthought. So, but Adam Page, Wrestler of the Year. Jey Uso had a great year. I said that earlier. I would not put him at second place. I think Rollins should be higher than Jey Uso. But there's a lot of Yeet fans, and I think people recognize that he was super popular. He was overexposed, I think, as well as Jey Uso. Especially by the end when they're over pushing him. Oh, he's turning heel, but he's not turning heel. He's joining the tag division. It's like, okay, enough. Downgrade the guy for a little bit, which is what they did. So, yeah, thoughts on the results there, Mr. Marceau?
Yeah, like I said, I didn't really watch much of AEW. I know Hangman won the belt, obviously. Know he dropped the belt to Joe recently. There's a Fatal 4, I believe, that he's in this weekend.
Yep.
But like you said, kind of getting back. I know he had the title. I mean, we watched it when he beat Omega. Yep. That was great. That kind of title reign kind of flopped on its face, but sounds like he had a good year this year. Beat Moxley, who people hated. So obviously that's big. And then with Jay, like I said, I feel like the beginning of the year was good. The ending kind of fell on its face a little bit.
Yeah.
Now he's back in the tag title reign, but I mean, the first 6 months were really good to great. Hasn't really done a lot since. Still super over. Him and Jimmy are tagging again. Foster win the tag belts. Who knows? But yeah, no, I think obviously greatest year of his career. But I feel like it was like it went straight up and then it kind of plummeted down. But they're still using his popularity, like you said. Him and Jim, maybe they'll buff up the tag division. I think, like I said before, AJ and Dragon Lee have done good stuff, but maybe putting the belts on the Usos can catapult that even further.
I completely agree. Maybe we'll end up talking about the Usos being the tag team of the year in 2026.
Probably not, but we'll stay. We'll stay.
Do you think there's a chance that they go for the tag titles or either win them and hold them for a little bit or just outright lose and then one turns on the other and we get Jay and Jimmy again at WrestleMania 1-on-1?
I'm down.
That sounds fucking awful.
I already have my bag packed for Vegas, so I'll be down for it
No, we're just going to stand and deliver. We're just going to go see Javon Evans, who may not even win the NXT title. I heard he might be on the main roster now, so he was on Raw this week. I have no fucking clue. But if he's in Vegas winning the title, we're going to stand and deliver. Fuck Mania. We'll go to a bar instead. How about that?
Okay, sounds good.
Sounds good. We'll go to good old Einstein Bagels. We know where that is.
There we go. Make sure the microwave is working this year.
I can't wait.
Well, that was Starbucks.
That was Starbucks for you. Einstein's actually does a good job.
Okay.
But we're going to take Vegas, Mr. Marceau and GSM in 2026. Part 2. Better than 2019. Hated it in 2019.
I loved it in 2019.
I like Vegas now. And yeah, I agree, Ahmed. He said a rightfully well-deserved winner, Hangman Adam Page. That redemption arc was so good. A person he did not like at all helped him beat the Death Riders. Well, I mean, someone earlier said they've hated it because it made no sense. I guess it's kind of polarizing, but I liked it myself personally. It was a great story, and Fresh Fly says, I
also thought it made no sense. He burned the guy's house down.
It's wrestling, okay?
Yeah, that's a little far, though.
I understand. I get it. But they made up. They kissed and made up and sang Kumbaya, so it's okay. Fresh Fly said, I still miss John Cena. It's only been 2 weeks. How could I miss the guy? He just barely fucking left just recently. Last thing here for you, Mr. Marceau. Just give me your overall thoughts on WWE specifically. I mean, I guess wrestling. I know you didn't watch much AEW this year, but you keep tabs. What was this year in wrestling for you? I mean, it was very, to me, I think that to sum it up in a nutshell, I've said this before, creatively inconsistent. Great matches, some great moments, but a lot of failed follow-up and a lot of cool periods for both companies in 2026. Or 2025, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I thought overall, like I said, I think it was like peaks and valleys, maybe is the best way to describe it. I thought the PLEs for WWE were pretty solid all year round. I thought the bigger ones are probably the ones that were more head-scratcher. Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series are probably one of the weaker shows throughout the year, but I did think the other shows delivered. The women, I think WWE overall had an amazing year. The men, if you love Cody, you got a lot of that. Really wasn't really a breakout male on the roster. I feel like that kind of hurt. I liked Gunther's little run. Obviously, Jade kind of broke out, but he was breaking out the year before.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have used a little bit more fresher blood. Drew probably should have beaten Cody by now.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get that. So like I said, if you love Cody, we got a lot of Cody this year.
Oh, yeah.
Punk winning was good. Rollins winning and Hurt was not great. Dom's done great work. I just feel like they do need a little bit more buffing up. Obviously, Breaker's geared to that. Bronson, we'll see. Who knows with Theory as well. Maybe Femi coming up, Javon Evans. So maybe this new replenishing of the men's division will help. The women, I think there's so many women that they can push and not push that I'm not worried at that front. I think there's so many women they can put in, put out. I think this year, hopefully, we can get some more women's feud not based around a title. I think they have enough good women we can get that.
Yep.
But I think, like I said, I think it was an okay year, maybe like kind of a bridge year. Maybe I'll safely say bridge year. Next year, maybe we'll start seeing those people that they kind of started focusing on, getting bigger breakouts. So I'd call it a bridge year. I think it was a solid year. Could have been better. Obviously, the Cena heel run was awful. The whole retirement tour, I think, was an overall flop. Graded at C, C+.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have graded an F like Bleacher Report and that sham of a website, but I mean, the F is extremely. You didn't watch any of it.
No, you didn't watch anything. Stop.
You watched the last match and you had your Cena underwear on, but no, I think they. Maybe I think honestly the Cena turn did hurt them a little bit. I think they knew creatively they had that in their back pocket.
Yeah.
So maybe this year they won't play it as safe as people said.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like I said, bridge year 2026, I think should be overall better year. But we'll come back next year and maybe Triple H will be getting fired. So who knows?
If you read the dirt sheets, if you read the fucking the tabloids, they're telling me Triple H might get fired. I completely agree. Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. Listen, we talked about it a few weeks ago, risks and safe. Listen, they take risks this year. A lot of them didn't pay off, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't take more risks next year. They should be taking more risks, they also should not be playing as safe too. Like, I think a bit of both is great. Predictability isn't always a bad thing. With both companies, a lot of great matches this year. That's never really a problem. A lot of great women's wrestling this year, specifically for WWE. AEW also did a great job. Mercedes killed it this year. Chris is on the rise. They lost Mariah May. She's in NXT. NXT got a lot of great talent this year, which is great from AEW. I think AEW also got some great pickups this year as well. Women's wrestling dominated this year. Probably the best overall year for women's wrestling, maybe since 2019, 15,
Best
16.
year ever.
Maybe ever. Yeah, honestly.
Ever.
Really
Ever.
Amazing stuff. And honestly, go further with it. Put them in the main events this year or this coming year of pay-per-views and shit. And not just of their own fucking Evolution show. Do more with the women.
I would say the women this year were like way more must-see than the men.
Way more.
I thought the women were amazing all year.
Way more. And this is going to apply more to WWE than AEW. AEW a little bit, but just like you said, give me some new blood. I mean, listen, I think you can. I'm not saying, CM Punk's got to retire. Get rid of this guy. Get rid of. You can get rid of Brock. I don't really care about Brock Lesnar at this point. But everyone else, you can put the belt on Punk and Cody. Cody's great. Maybe take the belt off of Cody for a little bit. But I'm talking like the people you mentioned, the glimmers of greatness there. Give me some Obafemi action in 2026. Fucking push that man to the moon. Javon Evans, the young OG, baby. Give me more of him in 2026. Belt up Braun Breaker on January 5th. Give me some more Jacob Fatu in 2026. I need those core four.
Though?
What'd you say?
Isn't Fatu hurt though?
Well, yeah, he is currently. I'm saying when he gets better or whatever.
You know, you missed one name. More Solo.
No, we need
more NFTs.
Solo, babyface Solo. He's funny as shit, dude. He's funny.
Solo's hilarious.
Solo's hilarious. Less of I'm evil MFT. Like less MFTs on SmackDown. Less fucking Vision shit on Raw, please. The over-reliance on factions is getting to TNA levels of obsession from like 2008 with the Main Event Mafia and the fucking Beatdown Clan and that garbage. Aces and Eights. Less faction nonsense. Just give me the new blood. The women's division is stacked. I mean, they're good with fresh faces. Roxanne, Julia, when they get their head out of their ass with her. Stephanie, all these other women. Maxine, they're trying shit with. Lyra's great. SmackDown, 3 hours sucks. I'm sorry. I just don't have a lot of high hopes for SmackDown.
Give it a chance, brother.
I'll give it a chance for about a week next Friday before I change the channel, so we'll see. But listen, I think it should be a better year overall, and you can't really focus as much on nostalgia next year because Cena's gone. And you can't, every year, you're not going to have a retirement tour. A couple people could be retiring this year. Give AJ a big year, please. Let AJ retire with some grace. Don't have him retire in the fucking mid-card to Solo Sikoa. Like, give him a good year to close out 2026, please. That's all I ask. But you got to start focusing on the new people. Take that belt off of Cody. Give it to someone new. Rebound Drew. Do more with Ilya. I think Ilya, the U.S. Championship shit, has been awesome this year. Give me more of that. Gunther. Dude, I didn't even put him in the male wrestler of the year. That's a person I missed.
He was also gone for a little bit.
He was, and he lost to Jay. He tapped out at Mania, which was also fucking stupid, by the way, in retrospect. Really dumb. You agree. I know you agree.
It was dumb.
Yeah. Almost immediately, too. Gunther, great year for him as well. I expect bigger and better things for him next year. Rounds of releases, there's nothing really to say there. They didn't really release anyone this year that's like, oh my God, this is so shocking. Like Karrion Kross, as the company really missed the beat without him. I love Karrion. People haven't batted an eyelash. That We Want Kross shit died in a week. I mean, R-Truth got fired, which was, what are we doing here? Like, at least give him like a bit more celebration around his release, and they bring him back, cool, to do nothing. And again, that's fine. He's not going to be a main eventer, but like they had all that momentum. Oh, Ron Killings shaved his head. This is awesome. Did nothing.
That was to get the crybabies happy for 2 seconds.
It did. That was just to appease the crybabies for 2 seconds. Less corporate nonsense with the TKO shit. I mean, I know that's a broad statement, but like, stop focusing on big gates, high ticket prices. The ticket prices are so absurdly, ridiculously high that it doesn't match the quality of the product. That's also part of the problem. I think the shows are good, but they're not $500 worth of a ticket good. That's just fucking nuts. When we went to Raw 6 years ago, the last Raw of the year, almost exactly 6 years ago today, that show sucked. It was terrible. But guess what? We didn't pay $100 for tickets. I bought fucking 5 tickets, maybe at $30 each. max. That's how fucking cheap that show was. They're not the tickets may never be that cheap again, but make them more affordable. And them going to Saudi for the Rumble doesn't exactly help that cause, I guess, but just
Why
make
not?
it, I don't know. Just the whole corporate nature doesn't, when the creative isn't
Yeah,
strong.
but for that, they're not selling tickets. Like, they're not selling tickets for that.
For what?
For Royal Rumble. That's like they're getting paid. Did they even sell tickets for the Royal Rumble?
Yeah, no, they're selling tickets for the Rumble.
I figured with it being Saudi, I feel like they already get paid, so it's like
Yeah, no, you're right. They are getting paid for it, but still. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just want bigger and better things for both companies. AEW had a good year. AEW just got to do a better job for them making shit more must-see. I want Mr. Marceau to go out of his way to be like, yeah, that sounds interesting. I got to go check that out. And not so bad that it's interesting. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking
No,
about,
I want that. I want it that way, but
No Death Rider shit, please. No Death Rider's garbage. Like, I want good shit that Mr. Marceau's going to be like, oh, fuck, I got to go watch this. That's what I want for them. Great wrestling year for that company. Need more fresh blood. That 4-way this weekend, it's going to be a banger. But of those 4 people, are any of them the new face? MJF's been there since day one. Adam Page is already the guy. Samoa Joe is fucking 45 years old. I like Joe, but come on. Swerve. He's a star. They made him a star. Make more stars. Give me more fresh stars. Takeshita, push him more. Kyle Fletcher, I think is great. Give me more of that. Give me more of those people towards the main event in both companies. That's all I ask. Push some blue chippers. Push some new blood. Mr. Marceau, he's a young pup. We need more young pups like Mr. Marceau in the main event mix in both companies. That's my top takeaway as we wind down here. Thank you to everyone that joined us. Richie joined us at the tail end here saying, what's up, y'all? Merry holidays. Happy Christmas. Richie, what's going on, my man? Hope you had a great holiday. Thank you for joining here as we wind down. It said, WWE relied heavily on the retirement tour and money than creative second. Yes, they did. Just better creative. The thing is that the WWE was already a corporate company in 2024, but there weren't as many complaints because the product was better. It only turns to, it's corporate when the product sucks. If the product's better, people won't be complaining about that as much, I don't think.
Like you said, I think they knew they had like you said, the gates and all that stuff. Like that was all coming in with Cena. So like they didn't really have to have a great creative year to like sell tickets because people were going to come because of Cena's last year.
Exactly.
Now this, like you said, now we'll see like the creative will need to come because people aren't going to be spending, like you said, arm and a leg to go see a random Raw because it's not Cena's last year.
Exactly. So they don't have that crutch to rely on. It's going to be a very interesting year to follow for both companies and especially WWE in 2026. Yeah, Fernando agrees. 100% agree, RJ. Best year for women's wrestling ever. Preach. I completely agree. Drew winning the WWE title. I mean, that's not exactly new, Ahmed, but I would like to see it because Cody should drop the championship soon. And also, Drew lost fucking twice to Cody, so he really should win. That's not like new, but it's better than what we have. What grade does Triple H deserve in 2025, Mr. Marceau? Fernando asked.
People might hate that. I'm gonna say B. I'm gonna say a B.
B. Okay, I'd probably go C+.
I feel like the people don't like. They feel like there's other things like he pushed Stephanie, which like that's a risk. Like she wasn't really a known commodity. He pushed her pretty good. Naomi, he put the belt on, which people would never assumed. Jay got the belt. I mean, I feel like a lot of people did get decent pushes. Yeah, we did over rely on Cody a lot, but I feel like Julia got. I mean, not a great run, but she won the belt.
Yeah.
Dominic, they kind of like he was kind of popular, but like people were kind of like laughing at Dom being like a mid-tier guy. They kind of made him a mid-tier guy, like pushed him a lot. I mean, the Judgment Day also ran its course a long time ago, but we got a good run with Dom. We've seen Roxanne. Nikki Bella's kind of made a resurgence, which not that I'm a huge Nikki Bella fan, but I think she's done good work since she's come back. So, like, overall, I think he's done good. But like I said, the Cena heel turn is what his years will be judged by most people, and it was a flop, unfortunately.
Yeah, but also just even the vision stuff too. I think the vision was good, but it never really clicked. And those at the end of the day, those were the two biggest things he built around. And also, he takes too long to, pay off certain stories, and he's got to hurry it up on some fronts. So I agree, a lot of good shit, but some bad shit too. Especially like the fucking retirement tour, mixed bag. I'm going C+. B's fair. A, you're smoking crack. F, you're also smoking crack.
Like I said, B, I would say a solid B. I think, like you said, I think the bigger things, they flopped, but I also think there was a lot of small stuff people aren't looking at. They were also good.
I agree. I agree. Looking forward to seeing what they can do in 2026. No, I have not seen the SmackDown spoilers, Ahmed. I will be watching later, though. More Nikki Bella and Tongaloa. Yeah, I mean, that would be quite the year if so. Obafemi and Braun Breaker at Mania 2027? Maybe. That would be a fucking awesome match. If that's in Saudi, and if they do Obafemi and Braun Breaker in 2027 and induct Bray Wyatt into the Hall of Fame that year, I might just have to go. I'll buy my ticket to Saudi Arabia. Mark it here.
There you go.
Petition to fire Road Dogg, please and thank you. You'll get no complaints out of me. SmackDown sucks. Solo should replace R-Truth as the comic relief for WWE. Yes.
No.
Okay,
no,
well,
no,
not that comedic, but he should be a comedy babyface. Like they should allow him to show more personality on the show. That's
I feel like he does show more personality.
He's got it as a heel. No one takes him seriously. I don't think.
That's true.
You know, he's in a better spot now than when he was the tribal chief main eventing SmackDown. That shit sucked. I'm sorry, but I like Solo. He's funny as hell though. They really have to have him do more funny shit on the show, but not like, oh, I'm a clown, like blah blah blah. Like R-Truth, they just have him act like a complete idiot. Like not like that far. Can I see ticket prices going down for WWE shows in 2026?
No.
I'm gonna say yes. I feel like they did charge as much as they did knowing that Cena's last year, blah blah blah. I can't imagine they'll be as expensive. I mean, will they go down drastically? No. A little bit? I'm going to say yes. I'm going to be optimistic and say yes.
Okay.
So I'll be paying $400 to go to Raw instead of $500. How about that? It still went down a little bit, right? Richie said, listen, if there's anyone who should have a big 2026, it's got to be TNA. They have the chance to capitalize on this new AMC deal in partnership with WWE. If they they can't keep their stars, can't let their stars keep losing. Or like have their stars keep losing matches. Yeah. Now, big year for TNA. That's another thing to look forward to next year. TNA, AMC, first time back on a major network since Spike, which is awesome. Hope they have a big year, and it's another promotion to follow, and maybe we talk more about TNA next year if so. Who breaks up first, Judgment Day or Death Riders? I'm going to go Judgment Day. Yeah, they should. It might be 2030 by that point, but probably Judgment Day. And Grunt said, thoughts on Tony Khan naming Willow Bailey and Knight as names to watch out for next year. I agree. I think Willow's great. I know you're not a big Speedball fan. Do you know Kevin Knight, though?
I know of Kevin Knight, yes.
Okay.
I know where he is.
I think he would like...
He teamed with Mike Bailey.
Yeah, I think you'd like... Yeah, he teams with Mike Bailey. I think you'd like him more than Bailey. Bailey's got a lot of the kicks and the whatever. I know you don't like that sort of stuff. Knight is great. I like Bailey, too. I think they're both great, but... I think they're all three people.
Was that Tony Khan? He said great 5 times.
I'm Tony Khan's burner. You're Triple H's burner, right? Mm-hmm. Anyway, guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Over 2 hours. I apologize for the length. Supersized episode here today to close out 2025. This has been quite a fucking show. Let me just wrap up with this. Thank you to the channel members: Alexis, Miss Mon Matthews, Dillon, DiGiacomo, Mrs. Renee, DJ Swerve 1, RJ Marceau at RJ_Marceau on X, John Ritland, Real Honesty with John Ritland on YouTube, Richie, Red Planet Wrestling on YouTube, and Average Grunt, who I mentioned a moment ago, gruntwrestling.bluesky.social on Blue Sky. More information on that down below. New episodes of WrestleRant Radio, typically Thursdays, WrestleRant.com, WrestleRantRadio.com, and all major podcast platforms. We'll be back next week, not on New Year's Day, maybe on Friday. I'll talk to Mr. Marceau as it gets closer. We shall see. And maybe next week, 2026 predictions. Always love it.
I already got a couple in the notebook.
I can't wait. Guess how many I have in this notebook right now?
0.
Absolutely none, because I'm terrible at making predictions, but I will attempt to give some next week here on the show. And thank you again, guys, for not only tuning in today, liking the video, subscribing, all that shit, but also voting in the 2025 Year in Review Awards. Can't do this without you guys. Thank you so much. 13th Annual. We'll get you right back here next Friday for a new episode, and also next year for the 2026 Year in Review show. That's going to be the 14th Annual. God, we're fucking old, Mr. Marceau. This is insane. Mm-hmm. Ridiculous. All right, guys. Have a very happy new year for Mr. Marceau. I'm Graham G.S. Matthews. Have a very great final few days of 2025. We'll catch your ass down the road. Peace.
Join Graham GSM Matthews and RJ Marceau every Thursday as they run down their weekly wrestling rants, offer expert analysis, host exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe today on all your favorite podcast platforms and never miss an episode of WrestleRant Radio.